All right, what is going on, everybody? We are here. It is time. The moment you've been waiting all off season for, the recruitment raffle, as you can see. Well, that wasn't supposed to pop up on screen, but the recruitment raffle is here, and we also have the drafts for season number 8. There we go. Now we can see our faces. Thank you, Krippus, for that. He's helping us out, but guys, we got a hype night here. We got me, Psycho, Jaegers, Irosa, a newcomer, all in the booth. So we'll swing it around. We'll swing it around, introduce everyone. But before I introduce everyone, a couple quick shout outs for resubscriptions. We got Dan coming back for 10 months. We have Nixoy coming in for 12 months. Happy birthday to Nixoy there on the Nemesis channel. And yeah, we got a lot of exciting stuff going on. We got a lot to talk about. With the Provisional League draft, which some people are probably like, "What the heck is a provisional?" We'll talk about that. But first, let's swing it around here. Psychonautic, the man, the myth, the legend, back in the booth. Psycho, how are you doing on this fine night?
Friggin-tastic, my dude. Ready to get into season 8. It all starts right here with this draft. The lower leagues right now and the higher leagues tomorrow, but I am excited, Rocker Man.
And I am excited as well. It's gonna be a fun night. We also have another guy back in the booth. He's been around for a while. He's looking fresh as always. We got the Jaegers back in the booth. Jaegers, how's it going tonight?
Austin, another day, another dollar. Ready to get this draft underway in this season shortly thereafter.
For sure, for sure. It's good to have you back. And we also have a newcomer, last but not least, in the booth. We have Iroza making his Nemesis debut up here with us. How are you doing tonight, Iroza?
I'm doing all right. I cannot complain. I'm excited as my first debut on camera. It should be fun.
Yeah, definitely should. We're glad to have you up in the booth here, joining us here for the provisional draft. So we got a lot of things to talk about, everyone. Before we kind of get things going, obviously, if you're just tuning back into Nemesis for this season, you're probably wondering what the heck is the provisional league. Well, Nemesis has grown since the last time we've officially been doing league play related stuff besides the draft lottery, of course. So we have 6 leagues now, and the provisional league is that first one, which we'll dive in a little bit more into that. But we have provisional league, we have the novice league, and we have the prospect league all going down tonight here. So a lot to be told and a lot to see. But first, let's move back to where we were before. We got to talk about the recruitment raffle. So as many of you guys know, the recruitment raffle was happening in the off season. You recruit a player, you get an entry to this wheel that you now see on screen. And another dollar gets added to the base prize pool. So we started with a $20 base prize pool, and then every person that was recruited after that and signed up for league play got another entry and another dollar in the pool. So we have a $67 recruitment raffle, which I know Psycho and Jaegers, you guys were around last season. Well, Psycho, I'll throw it to you. I mean, that's kind of crazy. We got 53 different people that were recruited just from people doing the recruitment raffle, just for someone referencing their name here.
Yeah, that's pretty huge, to be honest with you. 53 people, $67. Somebody going to be taking that $67 straight into their pockets from the recruiting. And hey, that's good. I got a quick question real quick for you, though, Rockerman. Did we shout out these people that just resubscribed like just a minute ago?
We did get them the shout outs. So.
I have one shout out I need to give, though, real quick. To Chops. I just wanted to say to Chops, what I would do to make you feel just like this. All right, let's go.
Thank you, Psycho. Thank
Definitely
you for
worth
that.
it. Definitely worth it.
No problem.
A little improv, but like Psycho said, this thing is going to go right into someone's pocket. You recruit someone, you get another entry on this wheel, you get another dollar in the prize pool. So some people put in some work in this off season. So we are going to spin this wheel, and whoever it lands on is going to take home the $67 there for recruiting people in the off season here. Shout out before we do that, shout out to Crispy Waves for 5 months for Psycho's singing, of course. But yeah, let's roll this thing. Let's do it. Let's see who's taking home a crisp $67. There's a lot of people on there with multiple entries, and let's see who it's gonna land on. It looks like it's gonna be Dolphin Puck taking it home there, and Dolphin Puck taking home the $67 there for the recruitment raffle. Shout out to him, Dolphin Puck. They also recruited the most people as well. So you recruit more people, you win. I think that's well deserved. Got, I think, 8 different people into the league. So Dolphin Puck taking home the $67. So that's one way to start things out.
That's one of the best ways to start things out, I gotta say. But I'm not surprised because Dolphin Puck was on there like out of the 53 people, I think he was 45 of them. I'm just saying. Like, Mans did a lot of recruiting. I'm not trying to shame him in any way. Shout out. Well-deserved money, sir. Thank you for bringing as many people into Nemesis as you did this season.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone else, too. Everyone else that was able to bring some people in. So
Nah.
Yeah, well,
no,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
You do a little troll in there. But yeah, we gotta get things underway here, I guess. We'll talk about the provisional league draft here. Shout out to Rogue coming back for the 19 months, and Ultimus Rule coming back for 5. People hitting the resubs. Much love here, and we're breaking triple digits on viewers, which you'll love to see. So shout out to everyone supporting us. So we'll see if we can break the record. The record was 148 last season. So if you know some people, get them in here, and we'll see what can happen. So why don't we get things underway, guys? We'll talk about this league as things go on. We're in the provisional league to start things off. You can see rounds of 1 and 2. There's a lot to see here. And starting off, Jaegers, we got our a 6th league for the first time since season 3.
No, it's crazy. Like seeing how far this league has come. Starting out from season one, I believe it was only three leagues, and then went from added a fourth, then a fifth, and now a sixth. So it's really crazy how far this league has come. And I mean, it's nice to be able to include a lot more players. I believe the lowest MMR is now Diamond 2, if I'm not mistaken, that we're allowing into this league.
I'm in one now,
Oh,
so
Diamond 1, let's go.
it's on 835 MMR. So yeah, a lot of new people into the league here, and yeah, we're gonna have to see who's gonna be the number one overall pick. We got a lot of new GMs too. Maybe we can give us a rundown of the teams here. Rosa, if you have the GMs and the teams pulled up, maybe you can give us a quick rundown of all the new GMs, because we got new GMs for the Provisional League. There's 8 teams in the Provisional League. We got 3-man rosters, which we didn't even get to talk about. And yeah, there are a lot of new GMs there, Rosa.
Respect each and every single one of these GMs, especially Dubs. He was my old GM last season, and KN. Both of them did a wonderful job. I'm really excited to see what they can do for the Provisional League. And a lot of these other names, such as Rockerman, Dan, Cream, Crippist, Bubbly, and Fly Penguin, have all have great potential to a new and upcoming team, especially for the first season of Provisional.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, we got a couple of new GMs. We got some old GMs here, and we got the first pick on the board here. The Jesters on the clock already, and they're going in. They're all ready to go here. Bubbly Reaper and the Jesters already on top of this. They are going ahead, and they are going to select Lasagna Man, or is it Lasagna Man? I don't know. It looks like lasagna, but spelled differently. So Lasagna Man is the first one off the board there, Psycho, and he's going to the Jesters to start things off.
Yeah, and regardless of if he wants to be called Lasagna Man, that's what it is. You're right, it is spelt the wrong way, but that's a good thing. Lasagna is really only second to pizza. Like, pizza is amazing, and lasagna is almost as amazing, but it's a little bit harder to make. You got to spend a little bit more time. So pizza's like streamlined. You just want it straight in your face. I think it's a good pick. I think it's a good pick.
For all that we know, of course.
I love lasagna, so I love that man.
There you go. He's the first one off the board, so congratulations to Lasagna Man. Whatever we do or do not know about Lasagna Man, he's the first one, so well deserved. The first ever Provisional League pick as well. So this draft going in snake format, because it's a new league. We get teams 1 through 8 going in a snake order, so that's what you guys can kind of see on there. So Jesters, they have number 1 pick, they have number 16, and then they'll pick again at 17 as well. So they're in a decent spot, and they're going to go ahead with Lasagna Man there. So we'll see what that does for them. We'll see what that does for them. I think that's 1185 out of their roster there. So starting things off with the 1185, I believe he's at the top of the list. So
I mean, in a list of unknowns, like to kick off a new league, you have to pick up the highest MMR player. That only makes sense. And it looks like coming number 2nd. I'm not sure if that was a mistake on the Provisional League. No, it looks like Mold Raiders are going to select Crispy, the Provisional Test Rat.
That's a great nickname there, Provisional Test Rat. Considering it is a testing league, So there we go. Crispy. Well, Jaeger's right as you say that about returning players or new faces. You get a returning player moving down from Novice into the Provisional League. So that's how it goes, I guess.
Absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, last season in Novice, Crispy was one of those players that got boosted up to the 1,000 MMR range, like kind of grandfathered in. And it looks like this season he's been putting in the work all the way up to 1173. So he's looking to make waves in this new league.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what he can do here. It'll be interesting. I know we've seen a lot of different people. We see a lot of newbies in the draft. We see a lot of old people in the draft. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? You think we're going to see a lot of new faces dominating Provisional? You think the old faces are going to kind of show everyone what's up, or what do you expect out of this?
As it's a brand new, I feel like a lot of the faces are going to be taken first because they know what to because the AGMs or the GMs, excuse me, know what to expect from them. However, these new people that we've seen could be huge sleeper picks. Like a player from the bottom of the list could probably be one of the best players. We just don't know it yet because we haven't seen them.
That's true. That's true. There are a lot of unknowns, and with the MMRs going down so far, I mean, who knows? Who knows what kind of diamonds in the rough? And that's what That's what you gotta love about the draft league. Is you never know. You never know who's gonna make their name known from from unknown to a name known. So you never know what can happen throughout the season. And we've got a couple of picks coming through on the board here. We actually got two of them as these teams have been going quick. Agility on the board, and that's a big C-dubs. Big C-dubs team. They're going to go ahead and select Cow-Tarded, and then Dissonance is coming back, and they are selecting Bradish on the board there. So Cow-Tarded and Bradish off the board. Jaegers, any thoughts on Cow-Tarded? I know you were in the Evolution org with Cow-Tarded last season, or any thoughts on Bradish as well?
No, I mean, Coutard was a player on Genesis. I believe we picked him up later on in the season. But I mean, he performed well. I mean, Genesis just at the end, it was a losing season after maybe like 7 weeks. So they did what they could, but I mean, there's no way they were making the playoffs. And Bradish, if I'm not mistaken, he's a new player. I'm not quite familiar with the name. It's a great name though, and I mean, the number 4 pick could be looking to make waves.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone have any thoughts on these last two picks? Psycho, maybe have some insight on any of these two?
On the Cow-Tarded and the Bradish?
Yeah.
Bradish, I actually don't know Bradish at all. This is the first time I've seen his name, or at least the first time I'm recognizing his name. Cow-Tarded, I think everybody knows Cow. He's been in the league for multiple seasons. I want to say since like season 4, maybe even earlier than that. It's interesting to me that he's in Provisional because I know he's better than Provisional, but I also know that he doesn't really play ranked. He plays a lot of casual. He plays with some friends that are lower ranked than him. So rank's not really a huge thing to him. So seeing him down in Provisional, I kind of understand, but at the same time, he's going to be a heavy hitter in Provisional. He's going he's going to do everything he can to run the table. And if a team's not careful, he might be able to carry in that league.
Yeah, that's true. And I as the GM who's now on the clock for Uprising here in the new Provisional League and having Cow-Tarded on my team last season, I would have loved to snag him back again, but unfortunately didn't fall all the way down to me. And yeah, Bradish a great pick as well. He impressed in the combines, which it's good to impress in those combines. Good to show up. Good to be active. It does get you noticed there. Bradish and Cow-Tarded going, and also Wolfpack here. This is Dan's new team here down in the Provisional League. They're going to go ahead and select Stawify there for Wolfpack, and that's going to put me on the clock. And I think I know what I'm going to have to do. So normally I'd have you guys speak for me, but I also have an idea of where I want to go with this pick. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there. I'm gonna go ahead and select Django's Joestar there at 1133 off the board. That is my first pick there. And I guess I'll back up the reasoning quick, and you guys can talk about Stawify and Django's. But Django's was active in the server. He was there at the combines. He was one of the few that stayed throughout the combine. So I noticed him, and he was talking to me a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I think I'll get that guy. So here he is. Now he's heading to Uprising, my org. So I'm happy to have him on board. So
Austin, I don't mean to expose you, but I know the real reason you drafted him, and that's because he has a great name. It's just a phenomenal name, and I can't wait to cast in this upcoming season.
I do like that. Name there. And hey, you know what? It's all about the name sometimes. Sometimes you get a good name. We always talk about it. I feel like every season it comes up, It's sometimes the GMs is like, I don't really know who to pick here. I like your name. Sometimes that's how it goes. When you get to the end, usually that's more so the case, but still. Nonetheless, Django's Joestar, I like it. And yeah, it's looking good there, and that's gonna put the goats on the clock here.
I think to answer the pick with Star, Stott is actually a very solid player, especially for the provisional round or for the provisional league. I got the ability to play with him in one of the 6-mans actually, and I'd gladly say that he should be higher up if it weren't for his internet, because I've had the exact same issue, and I understand where he's coming from in being stuck in such a low rank because of his internet. And it was always an issue for me. Hopefully it gets fixed for him, and we'll be able to see him in the higher up divisions next season.
Interesting. I wonder how much of a risk that is, for Dan. I know Dan's one of those guys that's very calculated, Irosa, but I wonder if he knew a lot about that or took that into account. You have to wonder.
But, I mean, while I was playing with him, he was hitting flip resets left, right, and center. I can't even do that.
That's actually pretty crazy. Provisional flip resets? That's actually a little bit wild to think about. Although I don't know, we were pretty. I mean, maybe flip resets are just becoming the norm nowadays, because I don't know. That's just how things are. The ranks just keep getting better and better, or maybe I'm just getting worse. Maybe that's just how it is.
I don't know. It's happening to all of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all of us. We're all getting worse.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But next 2 picks are in, though, guys. We got the GOATs on the clock here. Cream's new team there. They're going with NJ111 for their pick. And then the Fallen Angels, they get... actually, they are not on the clock again. Their pick is already... Someone messed up my draft order.
Oh, my goodness.
They decided to change it on me. But that's all right. We've sorted that, so they're not on the clock, but they do select Gederson here, or Gederson. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I saw him in the league last season. And he's back for another run here.
Yeah, he was in the Novice league last season. Nothing spectacular coming from Gederson. I'm sure, not saying he's not a good player. Just he was, no player of the weeks. He was never the guy that you heard getting talked about. Maybe he'll be able to make a pretty good name for himself down here in Provisional. We'll have to see. I'm interested, because Fly Penguin. I know Fly Penguin. He's a pretty good guy. So seeing him, anybody he picks, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get interested in who this person is. So hey, maybe Gederson is going to shine this season.
Yeah, and I guess something to note here as well. I know we talked about this briefly, but we're trying a lot of new things out in the Provisional League, and these are only 3-man rosters, so things are going to be crazy. It's the first time we've ever done 3-man rosters in Nemesis, so a lot of testing's going on, new GMs, new roster ideas here, and this is actually the first team with 2 players, because Fly Penguin, being the GM, he gets automatically placed on his own roster, uses the second round pick on himself, so that's why he's not selecting again, but now we get their Irosa. We have Gederson, however you pronounce it, and Fly Penguin on the roster. So they've got 2 people already on board, and I think that puts them. What does that put them with MMR? They have 11-16 remaining, so even some room to figure out what's next.
Not gonna lie, I feel like Fly Penguin could have the best of it here for the Provisional League, as he is a GM himself in this league. Played with other people. He is played with just a bunch of random people to see how well he can work with other players. And because it's his own team, he has that ability to make it around him if needed. I feel like that's where he could have the upper hand in Provisional.
For sure, and you guys are gonna have to forgive me. It's my turn to get on the clock, so I got to do some number crunching now that some picks have been taken. I got to figure what I'm working with. So,
just go highest available, Austin.
Yeah.
I'm sure whatever it is you're working with, it's the wrong move. Let's be real.
Surely nothing will go wrong if I go highest available, right?
Nothing.
Right.
Could ever go wrong. Who's even the highest available right now?
It looks like R. Blake 8.
R. Blake. Yeah. Hey, man. I've never seen R. Blake play before, but I bet he's the one that wins you the provisional chip.
Well, Austin, this may be controversial, but you got to go with the Cool Socks pick, I think.
Cool Socks is a good pick. Like, people want to sleep? Mm-mm.
I'd say Cool Socks is a sleeper.
He's a sleeper. I'd get him if I was
provisional.
100.
I'd have to disagree with that. Everyone knows him. They know his potential. I'm pretty sure he beat a Titan in a 1v1 at one point. I'm not gonna say the Titan's name. I don't want to expose anybody, but I mean, Cool Socks is a phenomenal player and been known to pop off from time to time.
You're gonna have to see. I'm debating. I've got a couple of ideas here. I got a couple ideas here.
Flip a coin.
Should I flip a coin?
Go for it.
That seems a little bit risky. It is a test league, so I mean.
Hey, no. So what you do is you flip a coin, and then you look at it. And if you're disappointed, go with the other one because you didn't want that one in the first place.
Is that how it goes?
That's how I
Or-
do it.
That's
Every
a bold
major
strategy.
every major life decision, I
Coin
do that.
flip. Or you could flip the coin, and whether you get heads or tails, you just pick Cool Socks.
Exactly.
I'm gonna pick Cool Socks anyways. So
There we go. I knew
There
it.
we
We
go.
all knew
There
it.
it is.
There
You're
we go. I'll
speaking
pick-
into existence.
They did. I was considering it. There's another option I was considering, but I decided to go this way. So Cool Socks is coming to the uprising here for the upcoming season. So I got Cool Socks, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what Cool Socks can bring. Being a former novice, but I'm Django's and Cool Socks. We'll see. Could be a deadly duo down there. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
and just looking, is Savage the team name? I'm sorry, I missed that whole thing. No, it's Wolfpack on the clock, and I'm trying to see Savage. It looks like they're picking Savage 11:47.
I
11:37.
cannot find him.
Excuse me. He's already on the roster. You're way too late, Austin.
Well, I cannot find him in the Discord, so
Okay.
that is a bigger issue. That is a bigger
Place you
issue.
want to find him.
Semantics.
Well, if he's not in the Discord, they probably shouldn't be drafting him. So
Someone didn't do their job.
Someone
yeah,
didn't do their-
It was
who would
me.
that be?
It was me.
Who would that be, Psycho?
It's the only one I missed was Savage.
All right, let's see if the mods can find this Savage guy. Mods, save us. Mods, save us and find
Okay.
Savage. I cannot
us.
I cannot
You're
find
saving
him.
Dan.
Save Dan. Save Dan right here.
I'm sure Dan did his research.
He probably did. I hope.
The Dan plan.
The Dan plan. We're checking on Savage, so bear with us for a second. But we're moving into the second round here. So there's only 3 rounds. This draft should go by pretty quickly. We're more than halfway done here at the moment. So well, let's take a look. What are some names out here, guys, that you guys are looking at? Maybe Iris, you can tell some names that are still on the board that you're kind of looking for here.
BMAT is a very popular player. I can't say if he's really good or not because I personally have not seen him play, but I know his popularity in the server. It surprises me that he hasn't been picked up quite yet, to be honest. As the former GM of Storm, he has that background and he knows to assist with helping a team. So I feel like he, if not a player, would be a great what's the word I'm looking for? Assistant.
Oh, captain.
There's a lot of great names I'm seeing up there, Austin. Man of the Hour. Let's see. Cyclone, Smiler, and Zeverns, a Genesis legend, Austin, if I do say so myself.
Oh, there we go. We found Savage. He was just not nicknamed correctly. So there he is. He popped up now. We got Living Savage 1. So there we go. There you go, Dan. Savage exists, so we're all good.
Dan.
That's all right. Psycho will take the hit on this one. If you want to blame someone, blame Psycho. Go
Yeah,
yell at him or something. Go yell at him. So yeah, we got him in there now. So he exists, and now that'll put Dissonance back on the clock here. This is KN's team. So Wolfpack now here is gonna. They've gotten 2 people on the roster. They got Staw and Savage here. And we got oh my goodness, I was not looking at the side here. We got a bunch of subs coming in from Rogue, and also Biscuit gifted a 1 month C money. Alpha coming in for 9 months, and then Rogue just gave out 10 gifted subs. Shout out Rogue. We love Rogue. Rogue's a great guy.
Rogue is a G.
He's a G. He's a Don.
Number 1 pick in prospect later, actually.
You think so?
Well, no, he's picking, he's drafting.
Oh, I was gonna say that's impressive as a GM if you can select yourself as number one.
That'd be wild. It's probably not the best strategy.
No,
I would say, but
I don't think so.
It would be interesting.
Nor possible. It's not really possible, but we can make it possible, I guess. We really wanted to. Might have to. But there we go. Also, Grebsy coming in for the 3 month sub. Shout out to Grebsy there. Whelps was on Whelps last season. I don't know if they're still on Whelps. They may have moved up to Wyverns. But shout out to them. And the pick is coming in here. Dissonance. They're going for someone with the default profile picture on Discord. We got KAV0706 off the board. So interesting there. I think they just got recently added, but they're off the board here on this one.
I'm trying to find them on the roster.
Oh, did I make another mistake?
No.
Okay.
You're good. You're straight.
He's on Dissonance 11-13.
No, he's there. 11-13. It looks like Dissonance does have a good range of players, like 1182, 1113, and another player not far behind in 1083. It looks like potentially. I mean, it looks like it could have a well-rounded roster right there.
Interesting here. And I guess one thing to note too about this provisional league is there's a lot of cap room because we opened it up so low. There's a lot of cap room at the higher ones. Hopefully, encouraging those lower MR people to kind of make that push up and get into the higher MR. So you go from a sub to a starter, and that's kind of the hope with the boundaries is those lower players they can grind a little bit, get onto a roster at a higher point, but. You've got another pick coming in here. Agility is going to go ahead and select Cheesemon.
That's
or Chessmon. He's missing an E there in the cheese.
No, it's perfect. Austin, that's what you can call French. That's how you pronounce cheese in French. Don't quote me on that, but I'm right.
Don't question it.
That he's right.
He's got to be right. No one fact check him, but. For sure, there. I did see that name quite around, and it pays to be active there in the server. As I know they were active at least a little bit, so they made it in there, and that pick's gonna go their way, and that's gonna put the Mulderators on the clock. Psycho, what do you think of that name? The Mulderators coming in here in the Provisional League with Crippist.
Well, I'm glad that you threw it to me, Rocker Man, because I just wanna say something about the Mulderators. I'm gonna look you dead in your eyes, audience. Mulderators are cursed. It doesn't matter who they pick up, they're going to lose this season. That's all I got to say.
I don't think Crippist is going to take too kindly to that.
I've already told him.
That was bold.
He's giving us some banter there. Behind the scenes, Crippist is.
Look, if you're on the Mulderators, you don't just want to win a chip. You want to prove Psychonautic wrong.
Ooh, there you go.
Look, that's a little extra motivational, at least in my opinion. Take that and run.
That's true. I respect that. Hey, you got to take all the motivation you can get. If you can stick it to the man here, this high caster, got play-by-play of the season many times in a row.
Management member, by the way.
Management member. Yeah, there you go.
Congratulations.
As if they needed another reason to stick it to him there, to call him a management member and, got to show him up there.
Do I hear jealousy? Is Rockerman jealous that I'm the only liked management?
Whoa, wait,
holy!
I think you're going to offend some of the other managers now.
Okay. There's more of us that are liked, but
you better calm down.
Yeah, Mitch is liked and Squirrel's liked.
Management ratings win. Ratings win.
That's a good question. Ask Mitch.
Post in the hub.
Oh, my bad. Rogue, we love you too, Rogue. My bad.
Let's hear your top 8 managers and why Rockerman is number 1, of course.
Rockerman's number 2.
No, that would. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure. Well, All right. I appreciate that, I guess.
Let's
No
move on.
Let's
Move.
keep going. Let's keep going. We got picking. That helps us here to round out round number 2. As you guys see, rounds 1 and rounds 2 on the board there. Crim Reaper is off the board, and I am sad because I would have loved to draft Crim Reaper again. A great dude, really chill. He's got a passion for the game. I'm gonna miss him on Genesis, but hey, if he's gonna go somewhere, it's got to be Bubbly's org there. And Bubbly and the Jesters. Well, I guess it's not really his org. They're unaffiliated from the top 5, but going to Bubbly there. Bubbly runs a good ship. He has a good community, so Crim Reaper's going there. And I guess we didn't shout out X Embers as well, who the Moderators drafted. We kind of brushed over that, but X Embers returning from the Crows last season now on the Moderators, and Crim Reaper rounds it out. So there are rounds 1 and rounds 2 on the board. As we've only got one more round remaining, only 8 more picks, and then we're done with provisional. So, Rosa, what do you think here out of that first round before we head into round number 3?
I'm not sure right now. Just looking at the rosters that we have so far, 2 teams that I feel like are going to be the best because it's just what we know of are probably Uprising and Moderators. But I'm really excited for all of these players that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, there are a lot of names, and unfortunately, not everyone can go drafted on here. So, but we hope that we can get as many people drafted as we can. Just the nature of how draft leagues work, not everyone can get drafted, but usually teams, they'll need new players once the season comes around. I know this happens every season, but people change, rosters change. Someone's going to be inactive on one of these teams, and if you're active, you stick around the Discord. People will get you. Trust me, that's for sure. If you're active, they will draft you, and you'll get on a team there. So that's for sure. Also, another shout out here. This is a shout out to the Nemesis channel. We just hit 1,800 followers, so shout out to Nemesis, 1,800 followers. W in my book there. So we just passed over that, but yeah, that's gonna wrap up rounds 1 and rounds 2. Let's keep things rolling here as we head into the final round of the Provisional League draft. We got the Jesters back on the clock here for their next couple picks here. As we're into round number 3 now on here. And he's still Jaeger's a lot of names on the board. I know we talked about a couple of the returning ones. What do you think? There's a lot of new ones that are still available there as well.
There are a lot of new ones. Like the one that really stands out to me is R. Blake, one of the higher possible MMR players in this league, still on the board. But it looks like a lot of teams are going for that similar MMR strategy to where there's like they're equally as good. You don't want like any outliers on your team is what it's looking like. So, I mean, who am I to say that's a bad strategy? I'm not a GM.
That's fair. But you weren't AGM though. You weren't AGM, so you made some picks. You got me the number 1 overall pick in Challenger League.
I did. Yes, sir.
That's true. He did do that. So the man knows his way around a little bit. Just a little bit there. As the Jesters coming in here, they're going to select Rusty Goat 98. That is an interesting name on the board there, Rusty Goat. But he's going off the board there, Psycho, to the Jesters. That's going to round out Bubbly Reaper's roster there, the first roster to be completely rounded out. And there it is. Yeah, Crim Reaper, Rusty Goat, and I'm looking for the last one. It is Lasagna Man. So you got Lasagna Man, Crim, and Rusty Goat on the board. What do you think? What do you make of those 3?
I mean, what kind of stands out to me is
Psycho's muted.
Oh my gosh, this happens to me every time. My fault, fellas. No, I think it's a good round roster. Well, okay. You want me to be honest with you, Rocker Man, or you want me to not be honest?
Of course, be honest with us, Psycho.
I don't know Lasagna Man and Rusty Goat, so I can't tell you how the roster is going to be. Crim Reaper played on Genesis last season. I think that he's a decent player. I think that he has a lot of room to improve, but I also think that he's got some good potential. And if Lasagna Man and Rusty Goat are, anything along those lines, then they could have a very solid roster right there that might not start off great, but could end in a really good position.
One thing I'm noticing, Psycho, right off the bat is how much cap room Bubbly left on the playing field. That's 78 MMR, and I mean that could be a big difference in a league like Provisional.
That's true. That's a good point.
That's true.
But
oh, sorry, go ahead.
you know what's more devastating to me is that my boy down here, Wildcats Russ 1986, he's still on the board. That man's a sleeper pick. Let me just tell you, he's been working, he's been grinding, and as soon as we dropped it down to Diamond 1, Wildcats Russ was like, I'm in it, and I'm in it to win it. So somebody ought to pick him up.
Hey, respect. He was active too. I believe he was at the combines. So one of those people that is a possibility there to take a little bit of risk on. So we'll have to see though. As a couple picks are coming in now, Malderders are gonna go ahead and select Glee Sensei, and then Agility is coming through and selecting Abe KTM, which puts Dissonance on the clock. And they're selecting, oh goodness, let me not mess this one up. Oh, he's already gone from my screen. They're going to select Similarity. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Similar.
I think it's Smile RT.
Smile RTJE. I don't know.
Austin, I think you're making it too. That's Smiler. Yeah.
That's Smiler TJE.
Yeah,
you gotta rep it.
You're making it way too hard on yourself, Austin.
Hey, watch it. He'll tell us in the chat. He's hyped. He'll tell us how to pronounce his name. I'm sure.
True.
Could just be completely butchering it. Hey, maybe it is pronounced like that. Maybe I'm like that.
I don't think you are.
It's all right.
I don't know.
I think
Each time I was shown on stream, the entire series besides Game 5, they could not figure out how to pronounce Irosa. So
Well,
it's fine.
The thing about casters is once we say your name a certain way, it kind of sticks.
Yeah, it just sticks. And if you screw it up in the beginning, then it sucks.
You can't go back on it. You can't admit you're wrong ever.
Funny thing was, they changed it every single time they mentioned my name.
Different casters, different flows, I guess. I don't know who did that.
This did not work. He's definitely in the chat, but I can't find him in the Discord for whatever reason. Maybe it's FT_. I can't find him. He don't exist, but he's in the chat. What's your Discord name, buddy?
What's your Discord name, buddy? Smiles. Come on, buddy.
Where is he? Where did he go?
My name is always a caster confusion.
That's Zia.
Yeah, that's not the right guy.
That's Zia.
You think?
I think
so.
I'm assuming.
I was told it's pronounced Zaya. They DM me and told me.
Oh, here we go.
Well, that's cheating.
Oh, there you go. Maybe I'm good, I guess. Okay, there you go. It worked now. For some reason, it wasn't popping up with his name. Discord's being weird. We got too many people now, I think. Well, I guess we can't say it. We don't have too many people, but Discord doesn't like us anymore because we have so many people in the Discord. They're say, jealous. Hey, you trying to ping someone? No, not allowed. So it goes, I guess. There.
That's when you just ping everyone.
That's true.
Yeah.
I should say Dissonance selects everyone. Everyone. Sure, that would go over well.
Oh, it'd go over great.
It would definitely go over great there. Well, there we go. He's on the board there. Maybe I'm good, I guess. I like that. That's a little bit easier to pronounce there. So, and shout out to Cooking Bagels, who we'll see for the next draft. He's got 22 months on the board there. So shout out to him.
Let's go, Bagels.
Bagels.
Yeah.
We love Bagels. As the Wolfpack are coming in here, and they are going to select Zeverns off the board here. So another player, not really taking a risk with Zeverns. Zeverns has been around the novice range for seasons. Dropped down to provisional this season at 1067, and Dan the man is going to go ahead and snag him up, and that'll put me on the clock here. So I got to do a little thinking.
I gotta say, I'm kind of tired. Sorry, Jaegers, but I just got to jump in here because I'm a little bit sad about this Zeverns situation. Zeverns was going to be on Ninjas with me in flight, and I think Rockerman specifically changed the MMR ranges to keep Zeverns from my Ninjas team. I just want to put that out there.
He just doesn't want to see you win, Psycho. Like,
I know.
Not only did he change the MMR, he created a whole entire new league, so y'all wouldn't be able to be on.
So I can't get a chip.
Absolutely, they're just haters.
8 seasons I've been here, I can't get a chip. Thanks, Rocker.
Hey. Who knows? Who knows? This season could be different, Psycho. Could be
Could
different.
be. But I don't got Zeverins now, so
So it's washed.
it's washed.
That's
I'm looking. I was trying to find the solid guy in the Discord, but I can't find him.
I know. I did his name right. I remember Solid. So don't
Yeah.
you. I'm not taking this one.
I don't know where he is, Psycho. I wanted to look and see how many messages he sent to the Discord. I want to see if he's active, but I can't find him now.
We'll go to the members tab. Remember you told me?
That's true. That's true.
So I gotta ask. Since there's only 3 people a team, like what are the free agent rules? Can they pick up any player, or like I'm sure it has to be in the MMR to sub in, or what's the deal with that? Since it's an experimental league.
I believe that and I'm new to management, everybody, so cut me a little slack here. But if I'm remembering correctly, you can pick up anybody out of the FA to fill in for you. But unfortunately, if there's no active FAs and you only have 2 people to field, then you got to take the forfeit.
Well, I mean that's the thing. That's what you're looking at. Stay active in the Discord, even if you don't get drafted. There's still a very good chance you'll be able to find a team, or maybe like sub in for some games, get your name out there. So it's not a lost cause if you don't get drafted.
True.
Okay, I've come to a decision here. I've been contemplating some of these players, trying to see who is active. I was debating, but I'm gonna go ahead and select Angel_BX22 with my pick 11-14. We should have enough room. Yeah, we have enough room to put them on the roster. I definitely checked that before I made that selection. But here we go. They're coming uprising. So we'll see what they can do here for that one. So that's my pick. That's my roster rounded out. And we're gonna put the goats on the clock. So.
Wow, that took enough time, huh?
Sorry. I apologize. I had to make sure I got my, I put my 3 minutes in, put in the work. So
I think at one point I saw the 3 minutes reset, but don't
quote about that.
I don't want to get banned.
It'd be like that.
You want to get banned? I can do
He
it.
wants to get banned.
I kind of want to get banned. I don't know.
We heard that last part.
Get banned? What?
Yeah. Isn't that what management does?
They're gonna crop that. They're gonna crop that last part out, and all we're gonna hear is Jaeger saying "Get banned." I want to get banned.
Please don't clip that.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that. Don't expose him like that. It'd be like that sometimes, but all right, well, there we go. The goats are on the clock, and they were going to select the person I was going to select. They're selecting Solid, who is going to pop up this time, of course. What's up there? So that is the second last pick, and we've got one more pick still on the board here. It's going to be the Fallen Angels with the final pick of the provisional draft, and then we're going to move into the Novice League for the next one. So we're gonna have to see where they're going, and they are gonna go ahead with their final pick, and they are gonna select Nolly down there at 10:50 on the board. And pop up.
This is a little bit different spelling, and that's a RLCS superstar right there.
True. Maybe that's what they're going for. So that's it. That's going to conclude. Oh goodness, if I can spell that, concludes the first ever Provisional League draft. Irosa, I want to throw it to you one more time. It was your first time in the booth. What do you make of this first draft here? Now that things have rounded up.
One thing that I wanted to point out, it's very impressive how Dissonance is at 0 cap room after a draft. You got the perfect MMR for the Provisional League to balance out his team for a perfect total MMR of 3,300.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's a little impressive. I agree with you there. We've seen a couple teams do that before, where they kind of work it out, and it worked out to perfection. Psycho, any scary teams you're looking now that we kind of have things all settled here? Anyone that you're like, man, I if I was in the Provisional League, I would be watching out for this team.
One, I would not be in provisional leave. I'm not that. I'm not garbage. I'm
Okay,
not
sorry.
garbage.
So I didn't
Wow.
mean to.
Two, there's no good provisional teams. They're all garbage. Three,
Wow.
Okay, number 3. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Okay.
You're not.
kidding.
Don't let him lie to
You
you.
know,
So he's just kidding. He would be in provisional league. He's just kidding. He's kidding about the
all
first 2 points.
seriousness, in all seriousness, I'm actually kind of excited a little bit about provisional because, like we've brought up before, in Nemesis and past seasons, Novice has kind of been, since it was the lowest of the leagues, it was sort of a proving ground. You would see people come into the league and in Novice, and they would just jump up throughout the season. They would jump up to prospect, jumped up to Chally. It was like you could really see the start of some of these people's careers. Some people that are now in Titan started in Novice. So I'm actually pretty interested to see how this provisional goes. Now, as far as a team being scary, honestly, it's hard for me to say. A lot of these names I don't recognize. I think Crispy Waves on the Raiders might be able to lead Raiders to a really good season, except for I cursed them, so they're going to lose everything. Wolfpack is looking pretty good. Anytime I see Zevern's on a roster, I know he's a solid player. He's going to really complement a team really well. Goats have got Lucky. Lucky's the same sort of way I've heard. From what I've heard, I haven't played with him. From what I've heard, he's one of those really solid players. He's in the places you need him to be. He's getting the ball touches you need him to get. And then, of course, agility, picking up Cowtarded. If Cowtarded can pop off this season, that might be the scariest team.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. And one more thing before we head over to the Novice League. I know everyone's excited to get into Novice League. If you didn't get drafted, as always, make sure you guys stay active because that's the best way to get on a team. Some people, are on these rosters and may have gotten selected, could be inactive, and teams may want to change in this first week before the season even starts. So if you're in the Discord, you didn't get drafted, stay active. That's the best way to get on a team. Let people know, type in the chat, say hi, talk to people. Just be a good person, have some conversation with people, and people will see that. GMs will see that, and I know changes will be made. So if you're one of those people that didn't get drafted, you want to get drafted, stay active. Just stay active. That's all. That's really all you got to do, and you'll have a good shot. People love those type of people, and you'll definitely get a shot. So, but that is gonna wrap it up for the provisional league draft. I'd like to thank Irosa for joining us, and I guess Jaegers too. Jaegers will be back, but Irosa, thanks for joining us here on the first time on stream. It was a pleasure to have you on board.
Thanks for having me. It was an honor to do the very first provisional draft.
Yeah, for sure. It's glad to have you. And Jaegers, thanks also for joining us. We're going to send you away for this next draft, but you'll be back for Prospect, where we might see you go number 1 overall.
I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. But yeah, I'll catch you on the flip.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We are going to transition over here now. We're going to get Bagels and Penguin on the board as we're about to head into the Novice League. So I think we're going to get them in the call here in a second. They have no idea I was doing an intro. So I'm just going to drag them in. They maybe they're listening to the stream while I was doing the intro. But we got Bagels, we got Penguin in the stream. Bagels. Well, actually, let me start with Penguin first here. Penguin. He's been around in Nemesis, I think. Is this your first time on the mainstream here, Penguin?
This is my second time on the mainstream. Okay. I did the combines. I did the provisional combines with Merely, and that was my mainstream debut. But I'm glad to have a quick turnaround and be right back here with you guys.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you up here in the booth with us. And of course, we got the one and only Cookin' Bagels back in the booth. Bagels, welcome back to everyone's favorite league, the Novice League, and the Novice League Draft.
Yes, indeed.
You excited to be here, Bagels? You excited to see what's going to happen in this wild Novice League that is the boundaries have shifted into oblivion?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to, based off the names we have, I'm just going to go based off names. That's basically what I did as GM. So, if the name is good, then they're probably good.
There you go. You can't beat a good name, like Cookin' Bagels. I mean, that just screams Titan League player for you.
I'm pretty washed these days. I'm pretty washed.
Thought he'd be rival here. He's like, am I gonna be a rival league? And I was like, I think so.
I deserve it at this point. I can't even compete.
You think so?
The 1700 lobbies are no match for me anymore.
It'd be like that sometimes. But hey, that's how it goes. So, let's get into things. I know we're a little bit behind, but I mean those times were approximate. I didn't know how long the provisional draft was going to take, and we had the recruitment raffle to go through. So things are starting out here. There were a lot of trades in the last little bit here, and one of these big trades is actually for the first overall pick. I actually jumped Frost with the first overall pick here in Genesis, and I'm making some waves here. Quick shout out to Threat for the one gifted to Velatech. Much love to Threat, who I believe is in Novice League this season. Oh, he's going to hate me if I'm wrong about that. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But thank you, Threat, regardless. I made some moves, and I'm going ahead and starting things off here, and I'm selecting Rooney with the number one overall pick here. I jumped over Dan, basically for a third-round pick. I jumped over Dan, and I'm going with Rooney for Genesis. The man was cracked. I mean, goal of the season. The man had like 80 awards. How can I not select Rooney here? To get onto my roster. So, Flight Penguin, what do you make of that? I know you've seen Rooney quite a bit around here.
Yeah, it was honestly expected. He was the popular MVP. I'm sure a lot of people wanted him to be MVP, Finals MVP, if I'm correct. And he dragged the Ignite team from the depths straight to a chip, and that man is goated. Greatest mechanics in Novice, even though the MMR has moved up, he's still going to be one of the greats and ones to watch in Novice for sure.
I hope so. Hey, I selected him. I hope he's one of those greats in Novice here. For me, that's what we're hoping for. And I think, sorry, Dan, I may have foiled your plans a little bit. So he may have to do some thinking now that this has happened. But hey, when you see an opportunity, Bagels, I know you said you're a former GM. When you see an opportunity, sometimes you gotta go ahead and snag it up if you're gonna get one of those players that are just exceptional.
Some people are a little bit more diplomatic about it than you, though. You can be a little.
Hey, I had the number one overall pick. I don't know what to tell you. Bagels.
You like to press your narrative, your agenda. But no, absolutely. I mean, when you got a player like that, I mean, champion coming from last season, I mean, it's pretty hard to pass up that opportunity if the opportunity does in fact present itself. So, yeah, I mean, good on you.
Well, there we go. Rooney's coming to Genesis, and Frost is going to go ahead and select Chad here, who was a newbie from last season, but one of those players, Psycho. I love Chad. He's an excellent player there.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk right now because I got to just say that my draft is turning out to be the way that it always freaking is. Of course, my first pick gets sniped. Okay, thank you, Dan. I hate you. Can we go to the next person now?
It'd be like that sometimes.
It'd be like that, but no, it's a good pick. I was gonna pick Chad. I don't know if you call him a sleeper pick or not. He was new to the league last season, but I think he made a lot of waves, and I think he's a really good player. And I'm super sad that I didn't get him, and I hate Dan more than I hated him previously.
That's what happens in the draft, though. I remember way back in season 1, when I was drafting, I think Jacob Illusions. I don't know if anyone remembers Jacob Illusions, but he was on there, and we had some beef. He said he was going to fight everyone that took his pick. He was a little bit upset. All in good fun, of course, but yeah, sometimes there is some hard feelings though when you take someone's player here, and that's just how it goes sometimes. You got to roll with the punches in the drafts. And well, with that being said, rolling with the punches, I'm sure there are some picks here, that some people may have to roll with as the Vandals are coming in. They're selecting Brindy the Blade here, going to the Vandals, and then Ignite is coming back, and the defending champions, Ignite, who made the miracle run last season, they're coming through and selecting LNR Eleanor Vida, who we saw. I mean, Vida was insane last season. At the end of things, Penguin, and now he's returning. Brindy's going to the Vandals. What do you make of those two?
Well, for Smooth and Vita on Ignite, an unfortunate circumstance happened. They don't read the rule book. They don't pay attention to the Discord. He could have re-signed Vita, had a first-round draft pick, but hey, that stuff happens. So he rolled with those punches, but he still gets his player. Brindy, personally, love the guy. Very demoable. He's easy to hit on the field, but he's a great dude. Vandals are gonna love him.
You call him slow, Penguin. You saying he's slow out there?
No, I don't think he's slow. I'm calling him predictable.
Okay, there you go.
He doesn't have spatial awareness.
Absolutely
Gotcha. Well, it is Novice League after all, so novice moments are bound to happen with no spatial awareness. Even with spatial awareness, sometimes they'll still throw here an own goal here and there, of course. So, well, we will have to see there. And the next pick going off the board, Bagels, your former org, making a move here. They're selecting a Stellar onto this roster here.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar. I'm assuming he's new to the league because I'm not familiar with his name. But then again, I've kind of not paid attention too much to the lower leagues for the past few seasons. But he does. What MMR is this man at?
1343.
1343. So
Which is way up there. Way up there. 1350 at the top.
Pretty decent if he's all the way up there. So I'll have to see how the Wisps round out the rest of their roster. But yeah, I'm glad Penguin explained the background lore on why he was signing, because even I was like, wasn't he on the team last season? So, but yeah, I've fallen victim to that rule as well. I lost one of my favorite players way back in like season 4 or something because he did not re-sign. He did not react to the message, even though he wanted to be on the team. As now the Kiwis are going to select Dre.
Dre on the board there. I think I've seen Dre around. I don't know if it was just from the off season or if it was, if it was from last season. I don't know. Does anyone recognize Dre from last season? I feel like the name is familiar to me, but maybe
has
just
no
because
roles. Well, now
it's because
role.
they're changing him. They're changing him around a little bit, so he may have just been a draftee or something. But
yeah, I don't recognize Dre either from last season or otherwise. I feel like this might be his rookie season in Nemesis.
It could very well be. You may be exactly right about that, but we'll have to see what happens. So, congrats to Dre going home to the Kiwis, and that's Cool Kyle there as the new GM. Shout out to Cool Kyle. We have a lot of new GMs in our I guess Power 5 there with our 16 team leagues, and Cool Kyle taking over the Fruit Ninjas there, replacing Squirrel and JD on that one as the Spitfires. This is a spicy one. I think Penguin may be laughing at this one as the Spitfires are going to go ahead and select Jorbage. Right back there. He went to the draft and he got drafted right back from whence he came. So
yeah, I think he tried to go non-playing. He wasn't interested to play, or he didn't sign his interest form because he didn't want to play this season. But once the format released, he's like, I'll give it another crack. He gets to play with North again, maybe run it back, season 6 champs, and they get Monk. It's going to be a scary team, but also like we're seeing a lot of wasted draft picks. But personally, I like Jorbage. As a player, as a person, he's kind of iffy, but I still enjoy his presence and conversation. We'll see if this personally cracked Spitfires team make a run at this chip.
We'll have to see for sure. And he's hyped about it in chat, so I take it wasn't like it was mutual. It was mutual on this one. He's excited to go back over there to the Spitfires, who on the roster, Paranoid Monk and North on the roster. So they have room for an 1192. Is that they do have room? 1185 is the minimum, or 1186, I believe, is the minimum for Novice. So they got some room to work with there. So I don't think they can even draft anyone with their picks remaining, but they have room for the minimum, which is all you need technically when it comes down to things. So they've made it happen, and Spitfires looking to return to their former glory. What was that season? Is that season 6 champions there? in that thrilling Game 7. That was some wild times for sure. Um, yeah, so congrats to Jorbridge there. Congrats to Dre and Stellar, the other two picks that just happened previously. And it puts Frost on the clock here. And, I think Dan may be scrambling a little bit as he's trying to now to figure out who he's going to pair. He's got Icarus and Izachad on the roster there, Bagels. And now he's looking for some moves here to make for who's going to be his third, or I guess you could draft your sub here, but I mean he's drafting in the first round, picking up 8. So I assume you got to be looking for the third starter at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got room for maybe a lower 1300 or high 1200 on there. So, I mean, you got a decent amount of people to choose from. And actually, Sage used to play for Dan as well, and Sage is on there at 1320. Or if he really wanted to get and throw a wrench into things, he could pick up JD. Really, he brings some spice to the roster.
Okay, I think this is the wrong. He's selecting someone, but it's Sky Newbie, who I think has another new account. I think there's 3 Sky Newbies in the server. Mods, you may if not more. Mods, you may have to track it down. It's not letting me ping the correct one. Someone find that correct ping. I think he may have a different account, but regardless, they're going to select Sky Newbie off the board there on that one. So Sky Newbie is heading to Frost, which is interesting. Curious
Also a decent pick. He's been around the Novice League for like 3 seasons,
something like that.
Or prospect. I think he's prospect, novice, around that kind of range. But he's always kind of been on a playoff caliber team. And even though I don't really pay attention, I have seen him on stream once or twice, and I was impressed with what he was bringing to the table at that point. I'll have to see if he can be consistent. But I mean, that's a pretty good roster so far with Izachad, Icarus, and him, though. Me personally, I'd love to see Mr. Mario, Mr. Marino.
Mr. Mario.
just messing with him. It is Mr. Mario at this point, though. I'm sorry. I'm just rolling with it. Based off what Psycho said, you mess up a name, and not messed up. It was planned. I never mess up. I never make mistakes. He could be sub on that roster, but I want Mr. Marino to go to a fully starter team, as he almost ended up taking home the chip last season.
Well, we will have to see. We'll have to see if he does. He's down there. He's the lowest MMR on the board, so we're going to have to see what happens when it gets down to it. And the next pick is in. Ninjas here. Psycho's doing the drafting tonight for the Ninjas with Foam, new GM, but Psycho's helping him out since Foam unavailable. But Psycho, you're going ahead. You had a couple picks tonight, but you got K-Man here on the roster. He's on Rocket League right now. He's a grinder. You're muted, Psycho.
I'm muted. Why am I always muted? I'm so excited. I'm happy he's a grinder. I got some inside information just like today on K-Man, and I'm so happy. Thank you to my insider. You know who you are, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna get Izachad. Like, nobody's gonna pick Izachad, right? Wrong. Dan the man. Always putting the wrench in my plan. That's all right. K-Man. Grinder. We're going to check him out. We're going to see how he does. I've heard he's pretty mechanical, and that's really what me and Flight need. Me and Flight are really solid defenders and midfield players, so we need a heavily mechanical player.
Well, I don't know anything about him, but I hope you're right about that being mechanical. And K-Man, welcome to the league. Welcome to the Ninjas there, who made a good run last season. I think Fly Penguin knows a little bit about the Ninjas from last season.
I sure was the captain of that team. We started out with me, Outcast, and Z-Verns, and we made a great run of it. Then we traded for Flight Night, so I got to sit myself on the bench and watch them dominate. Sad ending, first round exit, but we lost to the season's runner-up in the Whelps. But I'm excited to see what this new Ninjas roster can do without me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Psycho being back. He was there when I started and joined the Ninjas, so I know for sure he's going to be a great teammate and bring him on well and do the Ninjas proud.
I got Penguin on the Ninjas. I was like, let's pick him up. Hey,
there you go. And now he's a GM in the Provisional League, making some moves down there. So congrats by the way. While we wait for the next pick is in. Next couple picks, I think we talked about Kiwis selecting Twisted Hydro, who a lot of people seem hyped for, and the Crows selecting Parallax. Well, before we talk about those, what did you make of your Provisional League draft, Penguin? Did you like how things turned out? I know you had some first time drafting down there.
Yeah, it went pretty smooth. It's went as expected, at least. I knew with the 8th pick I wasn't gonna be getting the picks I wanted, but I got the picks I expected, and I got Geterson in the first round. He came to, I think, a tryout that I hosted, and being in comms with him, he was a pretty chill guy, and I look forward to teaming with him. And I got, just like Psycho, I got insider information on Nolly, and I played with him a couple games and couple conversations, and he seems like just a good locker room guy. I got a good locker room team. We're gonna have great vibes, and hopefully we're gonna raise up some good Nemesis community members here.
Heck yeah, we love the vibes. It's always good to get a good vibe team. I know Bagels, you had a good vibe team last season, and sometimes the good vibe team makes a run. Sometimes the good vibe team makes a run all the way.
We should have made a deeper run, but
Yeah.
we just didn't. We didn't perform. But no, that was probably one of the most fun teams I've ever played on in Nemesis, and I played 7 seasons. Maybe if I have some extra time, which probably not, I might try and come back, but we'll have to see what's in the works as what is that, Pawns? Speaking of my team, my teammate, there were a lot of picks. Yeah, Parallax too, long-time Nemesis veteran, going to the Crows, who's the only one on that roster at the moment. So they're gonna have to get a lot of people to surround Parallax, and then Pawns with removing Pillow, who has in his name 1412 peak, yet he's 1334 on the sheet. So how long ago is this peak we're talking? It must be over a year old.
No, he's peaking now, I think.
Yeah, he just started.
He just peaked like last days.
Week. Yeah.
Like
I think Bubbly knows something we didn't. I think Pawns, along with Mr. Silent, there are going to be contenders.
We're going to have to see. The picks are, this draft's going a lot quicker than last one. These GMs are on something right now. They know what they're doing here. As next couple picks are, we talked about Twisted Hydro a little bit. Congrats to him. People are hyped to get on the Kiwis there with Cool Kyle. The Crows coming in with Parallax. The Pawns with the Ruben Pillow in that peak. Aurora's come back selecting Chancellor, who was on the Vandals. And Acceleration is selecting our buddy from the booth. They're going ahead and selecting Irosa. So congrats to Irosa there. First cast, and now I think he's going back to Acceleration. If I right about that, Penguin? He's going back to Acceleration again?
Yeah, I believe he was the captain of Acceleration early last season and then traded to Diffusion to end it. It's going to be his return, and I believe he was teammates with Fluffy. I'm not 100% on that, but he is definitely making his return.
Well, hopefully it's a mutual return here, but you never know how it goes in the draft. Sometimes it's just how it goes. Big C-Dub's taking him on board there. And yeah, that's another pick in the book. And Vandals are going to go ahead and select a Freckly Jinja.
Another return
there. What's going on here? What's going on in Novice, guys? We're just not re-signing people out here. We're just saying, hey, everybody come on back. You come on back.
Jinja went to Prospect last season.
Okay.
Him, Mallow, and
Jolly Rogers
were the season 6 Vandals, and then Jinja went up to Prospect, and Mallow left. So now it's his name just left my head again. Jolly Rogers. I apologize. Rookie of the Year, season 6, Jolly Rogers, trying to reunite with his teammate to get that magic back.
We'll have to see. And while we're still going, this round is going fast and furious right here. These GMs are ready as 8 goes going off the board to Ignite. So let's pause a second, take a look at this draft board. Congratulations to all the draftees. There's a lot of people off in round 1. Looks like Kiwi's got 2 picks off there. Frost got 2 picks off the board. Ignite got 2 picks off the board. Vandals. I mean, there are some rosters now that are, they're going to be set for a bit there. So congrats to round 1 there, to everyone in round 1. We got to move on to round number 2, which is led off by Acceleration now. to see what they can add to their roster after just getting Irosa. So, well, so far, you guys, I know there's still we still got 3 rounds to go here. Obviously, round 3 and round 4. Well, I guess mostly round 4. There's only 3 picks in round 4, so it should go by pretty quickly there. But what are we making? What are you making of these rosters so far? I mean, Bagels, you seen anything? You see anything of intrigue right now? I think I'm noticing that the fusion is empty at the moment after round number 1.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, there's nobody on that roster at the moment. But there are also a lot of people or a lot of teams that only have 1 player on the roster, which I guess, kind of gambling, so to say. Maybe if they want their picks in the second round, didn't end up making some trades for some extra first round picks. But, again, they did make some good picks like Aurora with Chancellor, Crows with Parallax. Don't know too much about Stellar, but he is high MMR with Wisp. So all those teams with only 1 player, but they do have good players to try and surround some additional teammates with. But also the rosters that are looking kind of scary at the moment are, I got to go with Pawns and Ignite re-signing Lunar Vita. And I'm also interested with Ignite's strategy because their first 2 picks, they signed 2 1,200 players. And there's a lot of 1,300 players on the board. So again, if you can find some high value in the lower MMR range, I mean, Ignite could try and make another great season as well. But I'm looking at Pawns and Ignite at the moment. And Vandals, actually.
A lot of good rosters, and we're getting round number 2 here. Acceleration has gone off the board, and they've selected Threat with their pick. So Threat, he was asking if he's going to get drafted. There he goes. Threat, former Genesis member. Good to see him sticking around and getting on another team this season. So congrats to Threat on making it to Acceleration, who where is Acceleration on this list? So they have room for a 1346 on the board, which is a little spicy there. So they got some room to work with, but we're gonna have to see what that gives them necessarily. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And then Vikings, I believe it's Vikings. Someone put a question mark on me. I'm right. I'm right about that. Don't you question mark me. Make me double check double guess myself. Oh,
Well,
right.
the Vikings
Or are they full?
team is full, yes.
Oh, well, that's impressive.
So I guess you're right, but you're somewhat wrong.
No, I was right. I was right because the mods are so quick. They put it in before I could announce it. They're so quick. They're like that. The mods are like that.
They just posted it though.
That's what I'm saying. The mods are on it. Vigil is going to the Vikings.
It was there for like 30 seconds. There's
Holy.
There's something going on.
Hey, respect to the mods. They're on them. So, respect to whatever mod is doing the PRF sheet there. Whoever's putting the work behind the scenes, they're going in. So
I would assume it is Lush, Beast Mod, and Victory Org GM. So he
might have known, had some insight.
Fixed it before.
he put him on the roster. He's like, it works.
That makes a lot more sense now why that happened.
Oh, that is true. He does confirm it is him on the PRF. So he was the chosen one. So he knew.
Yeah,
So
I believe Chancellor was like former Challenger League, right? So
no, he was on Vandals, and then he left the league after they lost, and then he came back. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
there must be another different Chancellor or something. Because I could have sworn there was like a
maybe he could have been the Challenger. I don't know.
But I at least maybe I'm thinking of another player. But Aurora on the clock now. I'm gonna try and find somebody else. Says they get him. I don't know if that's the guy you want right now, but I tell you what, that is a man you absolutely want on your roster. Is Mr. Mario, grand finalist last season there, and also the lowest MMR on that team last season, but was honestly coming up with some really big plays in the grand finals.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Marino, really a sleeper pick. He's literally, as it stands, the lowest MMR in Novice, but he showed up to my Novice tryouts, and I was heavily considering picking him. I just didn't think that he was going to be on the board for me since I didn't have a second round pick. Like Bagels mentioned, he is a grand finalist from season 7 with the Whelps. They did lose to Ignite in the in the grand finals, but Mr. Marino, he's just a solid player at the tryouts. He did really, really well. He's got a good attitude. He calms well. Just that's a great pick. I'm happy for Aurora with that.
Well, there we go. Aurora getting Mr. Marino. I also love Mr. Marino. Good to see him making his return in the Novice League. See if he can get back to the grand finals with Aurora this time. And the Wisps coming through and selecting Sage Beast, otherwise Sage Burner, who's been around Nemesis for a long time. So a huge Nemesis veteran going to the Wisps there. The Wisps. Well, great name. Great name, Bagels put it together way back when.
It's not that hard.
Well, it'd be
Would you like me to rename it retroactively with Spectral Figure or something, or the Ghost?
The Ghost. No, I don't mind it. I was just saying it's
a good
sound. Be a little bit tough sometime.
And
also, Genesis is on the clock, and I'm doing something spicy here, guys. I'm doing something spicy. All right. Well, actually, let me make sure before I do this. Let me make sure the math works. I think I'm doing something spicy here, but carry on without me for a second while I crunch the numbers.
Pick up DP Snail. Is it really spicy?
Yeah, it's not spicy unless you do pick it. I agree with Bagels, 100%.
Oh, what if he picks up JD though?
Okay, there's two spicy choices here.
Oh man.
I gotta...
Johnny Boy Kills as the sub, I'm assuming, with JD on the team. I mean, that's a roster destined for self-destruction, I think.
If you get JD, you have to bench him, right? You have to.
Oh, no.
With how many players he picked up just to bench, you have to bench him.
Oh man. He's no longer GM, so he's no longer in control of his own fate.
Get wrecked.
I was gonna do something spicy, but I'm gonna hold over to the next round. I think. I was getting a little bit concerned. I'm gonna do it. I'm selecting Unreal Bandit all the way at the top, 1350 off the board. Coming to Genesis here. So
I think that's
seem like you don't know anything about him.
No, I actually do know about Unreal Bandit. I watched him in the Combine, and he went crazy.
Yes, he did. I was going to say that he went crazy in the combines. I was looking at him, but with my team, we didn't have enough room for him. So I think that's a good pick, Rocker.
I love it. With Rooney and Unreal Bandit, all I'm saying is the third on the roster, whoever that may be. Well, it's going to be interesting. So we're going to have to see. But Rooney and Unreal Bandit, I'm liking. Maybe this is the season for Genesis. Maybe this is the season. I did a little bit of work in Novice this season, trading up to get Rooney, and hey, when Unreal Bandit fell to me, is one of those is like I was really trying to get him. So I'm happy to get him on the roster here for Genesis. So we'll see if this is the season for Genesis.
Sounds like you need to make a trade for Mr. Marino.
I would love to get Mr. Marino. I was hoping Mr. Marino would stay. I had a couple of options, but if Mr. Marino is there, he may have been my guy. There's a couple people I was thinking of. He may have been my guy, but I'm happy.
Musty Flicks at the bottom there, 1201.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Can you do a Musty Flick?
I do have exactly 1201 room to select Musty Flicks.
Oh, you have 1201. I thought it was 1210. It is exactly 1201.
I have exactly 1201, so
you have two choices.
Very true. I do have two choices. But that's a story for pick number 33 of the first pick of the third round. We'll have to see. As the next pick is coming off the board, the Whelps are going to go ahead and select Quackbot, who's also been around Nemesis for a while. It's good to see Quackbot back here. He's in Novice League this season and going over to the Whelps, who are looking to get back to the grand finals yet again. And Quackbot, will he be the one? Is he the chosen one here? I don't know.
I don't know, but he does have C Money on his team, and C Money last season, I don't think he really plays the game anymore. And last time I saw him on stream, I think he was subbing up for a challenger game, and he actually was just dominating. So maybe if C Money decides to play the game at least somewhat regularly, the Whelps might have a chance. Again, Quackbot, though, another Nemesis veteran, but I kind of have to question if he's been playing the game at all at this point. I know he took a few seasons off. So I'll have to see as another pick comes off the board.
They got a great name
music.
there. They got a great Discord name, Bagels Best Titan, in their nickname, Bagels.
Hey, let's go.
They're buttering you up.
I'm no longer a player in the Titan League, so we'll have to see. But
you can still be the best.
And honestly, I have a lot of confidence in myself as a player. I'm not the most mechanical. I'm not going to do some flashy things, but I'm a player you want on your team. I, for the first time in 8 Nemesis seasons, can say you probably don't want me on your team anymore because I don't know how to play the game anymore. I'm really bad.
Well, you're still better than pretty much most of our community.
Well, yeah.
Oh, there's that.
I'll take what I can get. But no, honestly, a good. Oh,
Bagels and Provisional.
Sign me up.
he'll take on some novices.
Yeah, you could make that the next YouTube video. 1v3. I'll try and 1v3 the provisional team.
Yeah. Well, I wish.
I'll lose.
I mean, it could be difficult. It could be difficult, even if they are some provisionals. Which it's weird to say that now instead of novices. It's the provisionals that are now going to be the butt of every joke. So.
I'm going to be honest. I wasn't a fan of the name, but it is kind of flowing off the tongue at least decently well. I tried to come up with a better name. Probably looked at it for 2 minutes. Didn't put much thought into it. And I said, it's good enough. So. But, I'm not in management anymore, so I can't really make that decision anyway. But provisional, I'm okay with the name. As another pick does come out. Actually, 2 picks. Yeah. Diffusion coming in with Volcron and Gorgons with... Ooh, see, this is one of those names I would have picked up immediately. This is like you draft this player off name alone. Saucytron. That's a good name right there.
Well, before we talk about those picks, I do want to say I've been thinking of another league name for seasons, and I could not think of one. A couple days before we decided about the 6th league, I thought of Provisional, and I was like, oh my goodness. It was like it was like an epiphany. I said Provisional, and I was like, that could work. And then that's kind of where that came from. And rest of management liked it as well, so that's what we went with. And Provisional League is born. So there we go. Next picks are in. We got a spicy one on the board. We got JD. He's off the board. He's going to Diffusion, which is interesting. JD, he's not on the Fruit Ninjas org anymore. He is heading over there. So there we go. And Saucytron going to the Gorgons. Diffusion getting JD. And now the Crows are going to go ahead and select Saint, who was on the Frost last season.
Yeah, and Gorgons with an interesting pick there, as all 3 of their players are 1200, so they actually have too much MMR to use effectively. They're going to have about maybe 50, 60 left over, depending on who they go with.
Well, they do have to make sure they have enough room to select at least have enough room to get a bottom or a lowest MMR. So.
Well, no, they have 3 players already, and they have 1403 remaining. So.
Okay. They got some room,
I was saying.
A little bit of room. Okay. Just making sure. There. Yeah, the next pick is Saint going there. Frost, returning member. Congrats to Saint on getting drafted here in round number 2. And that's going to put the defending champions on the clock as Ignite. You're going to select Dolphin here, who is new to Nemesis. I think this is different than Dolphin Puck, who won our recruitment raffle. Congrats to them. $67 in the bank just for recruiting a bunch of people. So they put in the work and won the raffle. So this is not them, though, but shout out to them anyways. This is a Dolphin, not a Dolphin. So there's clearly a difference that I am missing, but... There it is.
A man named Dolphin Puck?
There is a man named Dolphin Puck.
Yeah, he won the raffle.
Yeah.
He got $67 in his pocket.
I just want to address the chat for a second. Ariso, I'm not a GM anymore, so I can't pick you up for Novice. In fact, I don't even know if you're on the draft list.
I don't think he is. Well, maybe he is.
If he does sign up, though, he's fallen from great heights, and I know what that's like. So, I think he was like 1600 something at some point. So, I mean, if he's a novice, somebody pick up Ariso.
It could be true, although I do not see him on here. So, Yeah, there is that. And Aurora on the clock, and another one here, another returning player. They didn't even bother to change their name. Bond Five Rice is coming back to Aurora. This is these GMs, man. They're doing something. They got something in the works here. They're just selecting, you know, guess everybody. So, oh, actually, Frost is on the board, but they cannot select anyone. They have 1197 remaining. They have no room to select anyone. So,
Yep.
well, they do have enough room to draft a lowest MMR, but they cannot select. So I'm gonna delete this message and can update the draft order with a dash.
I mean, hey, if you got Sky Newbie, Icarus, and Izzachad, I mean, maybe he's hoping to just rock that until he can draft a sub. But Icarus and Izzachad, they were former teammates on the Crows at the beginning of the season before Icarus was traded to Frost. And playing against the combo of Icarus and Izzachad, it was difficult. They are demons. We did end up reverse sweeping them as I pat myself on the back, but they are going to be a dangerous duo. Sky Newbie returning and rising up to the heights that he has. They could be dangerous and may not need a sub just yet. So we'll see what they can do.
It's true. That is the strategy. I know a lot of GMs. I think last season the best example of that, that actually led to a championship was Hydra, who was it one MMR remaining, I think, and they're on their roster out of their 4 players, and they made it work here, and they ended up winning a championship and Ignite. The Whelps are coming through and selecting Control Delete. Who is that a return from way back? Can I be wrong about that? I may be wrong about that, but it sounds vaguely familiar, like Control Delete Whelps.
He did have that in his name for sure, but he wasn't on the Whelps last season.
Yeah, I know about that. I'm thinking like way back. It could be.
I think he was on Wyverns at one point.
Oh, that might make sense. His season 1 teammate of Biscuit, he says. That is true.
Yeah.
Way back in season 1. That's a throwback.
But yeah, on the topic of the Whelps, we were talking about MMR space. They had enough MMR space to draft a minimum or to pick up a minimum player, but they rocked a 3-man roster all season with Jeff Masters, Mr. Marino, and Grebsy. They did not have a sub that I saw all season, and they got second place in Novice. So we'll see how that strat is effective for some teams here. But Control Alt Delete or Elite, I'm sorry, hoping to do his old team proud here.
Yeah, Control Alt Delete. He's an OG in Nemesis. He's been around. Rockerman, help me out here. I feel
Season
like
1.
Since season 1. I
Season
was going to
1.
say season 2, but holy moly! I'm so glad this man made it on a team. It's not 8 seasons.
Yeah.
8 seasons. Control Alt Delete. Shout out, you the man.
Yeah, true. Shout out to Control Alt Delete coming back. And yeah, Biscuit was saying he was a season 1 teammate on the Wyverns who ended up making it to the grand finals in that season. And yeah, congrats to him. And also congrats to our last pick of this round as we kind of take a look one more time at our Novice League, round 2 here. We have Tripwire 104 off the board. They say A in chat. Congratulations getting on the board there. And going to the defending champions on Ignite. Looking to go back to back here. Their roster is now full with Dorfin, Tripwire, Eleanor Vita, and Aiko. So some rosters are filling up here as we're heading into round 3. And I'm not gonna lie, once I saw that pick, I was very happy because none of my 2 options got selected. None of my 2 options got sniped there. I've got room in my roster for 2 people, Musty Flicks and Chunk Light, and I have a decision to make.
If you want my recommendation, Rocker Man, I'd say you'd pick up Chunk Light. He is a 6-man's grinder. He's active in the Discord, and he's a great dude. So before you make your pick, that would be my recommendation.
Why are we helping this man out?
Yeah,
why are we helping
the first
this man
rule
out?
of drafting is don't help Rocker Man.
Yeah,
if you saw the way that this man is like a wolf backed into a corner in a cave with no other. He's like he has nothing left to lose, but he still tries to get everything from you in these trades. Like he's trying to nickel and dime you for it. He doesn't need any help.
Yeah, Penguin, you're
granted. He only has 2 choices, so it's like a 50-50 either way. But don't put yourself out there for this man.
I'm just trying to do good by my boy Chunk Light. He's a good dude. I just
Well-
gotta maybe throw him. To
And
the
he
wolves
listened to
Rocket
you.
Man.
Yeah. Well,
He
hey,
listened to you.
Well, he just helped me push over the edge a little bit. No, but
Oh
I was
my
I was
God.
I was looking at actually I wanted to draft Chunklight last season, but it didn't work out. He got selected so high up that I couldn't draft him. And when I had the choice to make whether I go draft Unreal Bandit or get Chunklight in the last round, I was debating. I was about to snipe Chunklight. I was really about to do it, and then I was like, I saw Diffusion, and I was like, I can't leave Unreal Bandit on there. I had to pray that Chunklight would fall to me, and it's a blessing. Genesis is dangerous. This might be the best Genesis roster I've ever had. Sorry to
Wow,
everyone
that's
else.
toxic.
Noted
Wow,
for
that's
every color
toxic.
Genesis.
Sorry
finally on the up.
to everyone else, but we got Unreal Bandit, Rooney, Chunklight, Johnny Boy on the roster here for Genesis. I'm liking that. I'm really liking that.
I mean,
So,
at some point, Rocker Man, your novice team has to get out of the basement, so it's good
That's
that
true.
you open the door for them.
that's true. That's true. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I won't take that as hate. I will take that as he's right. We are getting out of the basement. We're coming back, baby. We had the number 1 overall pick this season. We had the worst record last season, but we're turning around. We're going from worst record to best record. So we'll have to see what happens. So as next pick coming in, we got Aurora coming in selecting Kusei there. Who really just got added today. They put him here a while ago, but it literally got sorted today, and they are getting selected here to Aurora on the board there. So congratulations to them. As what does that do for Aurora now on the roster there? I think
Their team is full with 101 cap room left.
that's interesting.
That,
They do have
that's,
Mr. Marino.
Old strategy, but they do have Mr. Marino.
They do. They do.
You know, how are you going to draft Mr. Marino and then have like cap room of 101? Like,
That's true. Well, hey, I mean, Miss Marino, he's like that. So, and Kusei, we'll see. Maybe he's like that. We don't know. As, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. And also, shout out to all the viewers. We're getting close to the peak. I've been watching a little bit. We're at 137 right now. Looking to see if we can peak in viewers. So shout out to everyone watching here. Shout out to all the support. I know a lot of follows have been coming in. Had a bunch of subs at the beginning as well. So appreciate you guys. As good thing I selected before the Wisp because they were gonna narrow my option down and maybe they would have selected Chunk Light, but they're gonna go ahead and select Musty Flicks on the board there to the Wisps to round out their not round out their roster. They got 3 now with 1236 remaining on the board. So Stellar, Sage, and Musty Flicks there on your former team, Bagels.
yeah, and they got 1236 remaining left, so they got a choice between 3 players. And I don't know. I don't know who is it. Is Jarhead still GM?
Yes, Jarhead is still
maybe
GM.
maybe he's got a plan, but I'm not really envisioning the plan at the moment. This seems like a roster that was just thrown together based off of numbers alone. Maybe not too present in the tryouts per se, but what am I to say? But Sage, definitely a solid pickup, and Stellar, decent MMR as well, so hopefully he's a good pick as well. And, Musty Flick, if he can pull off a Musty Flick, then that, Novice League might be in terrible, terrible danger. If it takes him 1 out of 100, as long as he clips that one time on stream, I guess.
That's true. That is very true. Also, the Kiwis are saying they cannot pick. So the Kiwis are supposed to be on the board, but they do not have room. What do they got? 12-12? I guess there's not a lot of people at the bare minimum, it looks like. So yeah, Kiwis cannot select actually. So rip Kiwis. They're gonna have to hope that a sub comes in through the draft. So these people really stretching it out here on this one. So interesting there. That's the risk you take though when you only leave the bare minimum MMR. I mean, people are always dying for those minimum MMR players.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next Vandals pick. It looks like they do have room to select one of 4 players, and I got to shout out the Chef 98. I met him at Worlds. He's a great guy. I want to see him thrive. He peaked this season. He was another 1K MMR player last season. I'm not sure if he was grandfathered or just peaked exactly 1,000, but he's on the ups. So I hope he gets picked here soon. Hopefully next pick, but shout out the Chef.
True. I also met Chef at Worlds and cool dude. So love to see them get drafted here. And we'll see what happens. There's still we got 19 people on the board. We've got goodness, I don't know what the number is here. Can I? It's not gonna help me. There's 8 plus 3, 11. There's 11 picks left, 19 people on the board, so there's still some room to be had. There is. Oh, we hit 140 viewers. People are hyping up in the chat. We'll see if we can get to 150. If we get to 150, we could be making some moves. 148 is the peak, so we're gonna have to see. As that would be hype. That would be hype. A great way to kick off season 8, which is our biggest season yet, our biggest season ever. So we will have to see as the Vandals are on the clock now. And the Vandals, Sands, he's looking to make some moves here. He's looking to make some moves on this one. And well, what does he look right now? He's got Ginja and Jolly Rogers and Brittany the Blade. And well, I know I saw Fly Penguin smiling because the man is off the board. We'll speak it into existence. Shepard is going to the Vandals.
I'm smiling here because I may have gotten pinged in Hub saying to keep my mouth shut. It's looking like T was wanting to pick the chef, and I may have convinced Sands to.
So this is what happens when you throw advice out there. You know,
that's what I'm saying. You
Hey,
be active. The GMs will take it.
I'm a provisional GM. I'm not fighting any of these guys here, so I'll just stir the pot, have them fight amongst themselves, grab some popcorn, and watch it go
also,
down.
at the same time, just throw somebody's name out there, and if you don't have any idea whether they're good or not, and then somebody might pick them up. That's also
honestly, like
that's kind of toxic.
That has happened before.
That's a little bit toxic. But hey,
DP
Speaking
Snail.
of toxic, yeah, we got DP Snail.
Speaking of toxic.
Whoa, hey now. DP Snail there going off the board. He's looking for a team season 8 and looks like he may have found a team for season 8. And it's Acceleration, who 2-time champions way back when the Novice League was first a thing. Way back in season 3 and season 4. They went back to back. And Big C-Dub still trying to make something happen, and he's rounded out that roster there, Psycho, and you got DP Snail, Threat, Irosa, and RU Fluffy. So some well-known names there coming through on Acceleration now.
Yeah, not looking bad at all. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty excited. As you mentioned, Acceleration, the back-to-back season 3, season 4 Novice winner. Since season 4, they've really kind of fallen off. Acceleration has had some seasons where they were, somewhat competitive, and then other seasons where they just weren't pulling their weight. So looking at that, Snail, Threat, Irosa, and Fluffy, I think that's a good lineup. They've only got three cap rooms, so as far as on paper goes, it's a fantastic lineup. But I'm expecting some pretty good stuff from that particular roster. That looks good to me.
I'm definitely willing to, or interested to see what's going to happen there as the Gorgons are coming in with another pick. I think it's their final pick. They had 1403 remaining, so they're waiting until the very end here for these high MR players. And sometimes that works out to your advantage here, as they're going to go ahead and select Muffin Dealer, who's been around for quite some time there. Bagels and Muffin Dealer, I don't even know how long they've been here, but I've recognized the name from a long time, and they're back here in Novice. They have I'm Trash in their name, but they're going to get drafted and make it to the Gorgons, who are trying to make another run with a Rogue in his org.
They've definitely been around a while, and I always got confused between Muffin Dealer and Muffin and Titan. And I honestly don't know. Was the Muffin and Titan used to be named Muffin Mateo? Is that what his name was? Okay, so yeah, I always got the two of them mixed up, but I know he's definitely been around for a while as well, and I don't think we addressed it, but Diffusion, the pick before this one, also picking up Oki, or OK. I'm assuming it's just Oki.
Oak.
Maybe a weird way to spell Oak.
I think it'd be Oki, probably.
But again, Gorgons, their whole roster is 1,200, so they got about 120 cap room left. So interesting strategy there.
It's interesting. And Psycho, your next pick is in. I'm trying to find them in the Discord.
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking, Psycho, don't worry.
This isn't me. This wasn't me.
This wasn't him. Well, he might still be in the Discord. You could be completely right about this, but
Oh, he
sometimes.
is in the Discord.
Oh, yep, there they are. There they are. Halo Boys is his
Yeah, I was
name.
gonna say. I was gonna say.
Mr. X Ice. It's here.
Mr. X Ice. Yes.
Gotta
So
love when the names don't match.
little
Well, it did. It
backstory
was just being
here.
weird.
Little backstory here. Mr. Ice here showed up. Was one of the 3 players that showed up to the Ninjas tryouts. Just so everybody knows in chat, you didn't
Okay.
show up to the Ninjas tryouts. Shame on you. I'm disappointed.
Could have been
But
on the team.
Mr. Ice showed up. He actually showed up late, which at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But then we went ahead and tried him out because we only had 3 other people show up, or 2 other people show up. And hey, we played really good. Me and Flight had a really good time with him. We played really well. He had a good attitude. So I'm looking forward to having him on the roster. He's brand new in Nemesis. So rookie season, looking to make some moves.
All right, maybe hunting for their Rookie of the Season award. I know all the rookies look forward to that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. And you got K-Man as well on the roster. So your roster's rounded out now, Psycho, on the Ninjas there. You got you, Flight Knight, K-Man. What are you thinking now? You're kind of seeing rosters filling in as we're kind of getting to the last couple picks of the draft here. I think we only have 6 more picks total in the novice draft. So how are you liking your odds at the moment?
Personally, I feel good about it. Ninjas, we didn't have a great draft pick, especially we didn't have a second round. So I'm working with what we got, but I think that we have a solid roster here that might not have a great start in the beginning, but if it doesn't, we can grow. I'm sure Mr. Ice has got a lot of potential. I'm sure he's got a lot of room to grow. And then, of course, K-Man, I got some insider knowledge. He's supposedly already on point, so we'll figure that out. I think I'll have a good run here. I think I got a solid crew.
Respect. And while we were waiting for all that, while we were waiting, while Psycho was kind of giving us the rundown on the Ninjas who were looking to make another run, we got the pick coming in here from the Crows. They're going to select O Cheese O on the name there. Bagel's another interesting name, but O Cheese O off the board there, and he's heading to the Crows for this upcoming season.
Yeah, I'm also a sucker for the food names. So
getting hungry.
Saucytron, the Chef 98, and Cheese. They're all up there for the food names. That would have rounded out my roster if I had a team. Just try and go with the food name, or like you got to go with like the puns too. What was it? The Frost team. They had all 3 players on
snow names,
like ice or snowy frost,
ice
whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
So sometimes the meme teams can be the best teams, as they do get Cheese there, and
someone
not too
is
familiar with Saint, but that Crows roster looks pretty decent at the moment.
Saint was on Frost last season. I know Fly Penguin, you might have played against Saint and Frost in the last season, and now they've kind of they got their roster. You say the roster is rounded out, the Crows?
No, just at least their starters.
Oh, okay.
By the looks of it.
Parallax and Saint. I think they're good friends, Parallax and Saint as well, if I recall correctly. And then 12 remaining there for the Crows there, Penguin.
Yeah, Saint last season, him and Icarus meshed really well. I forget who their third was at the moment, but they obviously made it to the second round of playoffs, and Saint was a big part of that. So I'm looking forward to him doing the same this season. And Parallax, I know from talking with him at Worlds, him and Icarus, that Parallax was close to the Frost team. And he was like coaching them, so he probably knows Saint's strengths and can maximize it here with him on the team now.
I'm pretty sure we met Saint at Worlds. I just don't know anything about the Rocket League side of this. He
remembers everything else, the non-Rocket League related.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did obviously, like I said, even when I had time, I couldn't really watch it. But Pawns with their last pick, and
got a minute remaining.
I'm wondering who Bubbly is going to pick, because he's got 1273, and I'm not sure if Mallow's going to be sub or not. So, kind of interesting, or very important choice here, because I do think Pawns is going to be pretty deadly with Mr. Silent and potentially removing Pillow.
Great name. And the pick is going to come in here. The pawns are going to go ahead and select Septune on there. And that is, what is he at? 1271. So they really went all in on the room there to get that one. And that's the second to last pick of this round. And we're down to 4 picks remaining in the entire Novice League draft. There's only 3 picks in the 4th round, just based on filled rosters. So the Spitfires are in. They're in on the board here now. And yeah, they've got to round this one out here.
Yep, draft is over.
They cannot pick anyone, can they? Do they just not have room? Is that what's going on? Okay, well, apparently everyone's struggling to find a third. They did not manage their cap well enough, or I guess the lower bounds. There's just not a lot of players down there. So, well, the Spitfires cannot draft. So, rip Spitfires in their last pick. So, well, that's round number 3 there for the Novice League draft. So, there we go. We can take a look at who got drafted in round number 3. A lot of interesting names there, and now we only have 3 picks remaining in the entire draft here.
I don't think anybody can pick besides
Diffusion,
Wisps.
Can Diffusion not pick either?
Nope. I think the only person that can pick is Wisps.
That's a rip.
Well, yeah, Diffusion can't pick there, and then the Crows. Do you mean the Crows instead of the Kiwis?
Oh, I don't know. Does Kiwis not have a pick? I'm not looking at the screen.
No.
Yeah, they have 0 picks left.
Well, Diffusion and the Crows cannot pick, so we just got the Wisps. We got 1 pick. All right. Last pick of the draft. Who are they gonna pick? And that is the moment we've all been waiting for. The Wisps. Jarhead. What was he cooking? Bagels? Well, that was
only
not
one person he can pick.
No. Did that person go off the board? They disappeared off my screen.
They did. It's a remix.
Okay. All right. So let's put the Wisps on the clock there. And then the Wisps are going to go ahead and select, what is that? Remix there? It's Remix. So that's it. That's going to round out the draft, the Novice League draft on this one. And a lot of people off the board. Unfortunately, some people didn't get off the board. So once again, we got to give the spiel. If you did not get drafted, make sure you guys stick around because, as you guys have seen, there are going to be some people that are going to be inactive. It happens every season. Rosters will change, especially even before opening day. Rosters will change. Just because you didn't get drafted doesn't mean people didn't want you. They just didn't know about you. So be active in the Discord. Play in 6-mans. Type in the hub chat. Type in your league general chat. Be active, and you could definitely find yourself on a team. I know people are going to be like, crap, this guy's inactive on my team. I got to drop him. Who am I going to pick up? And if they see that you're active in there, respond to any org recruitment pings, and boom, you'll have a good shot there. So, that is the Novice League draft. Congratulations to everyone on the Novice League. We've been going for a second here. I'm going to have Krippus set up a short break, just like 2 minutes or so, to give me and Psycho and the rest of the cast some time to breathe, bathroom break real quick. Give us like 2 minutes here, 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be back with the Prospect League draft. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a very, very short break, and then when we come back, we're going to get the prospects, which, the Prospect League is spicy with how the boundaries have moved. It is very spicy. So, Be ready for that. Be ready for that. Prospects are coming up after a short break. So stick around, and we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.
They screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here, now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here, now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it.
times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
right here, right now.
Now, waiting for the curtain call. Here now, this is the moment.
Thing.
No. No, you can't do me like this.
No.
Well, everyone. I had a great intro for Jaegers here.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Now I have to do it again. All right, we're back, everyone. Long time no see, and we've got the Prospect League draft where there may have been some under the table deals going on. There may have been something involving our new caster back in the booth. Jaegers, well, he's kind of really new, but he's back in the booth. He may have some stuff going down. Quick shout out to Fly Penguin as well for casting for the first time. Did a great job. Glad to have him on the stream. And we got Jaegers in some under the table deals. Jaegers, what is going on? What is going on in the Prospect League right now?
You know, I have no idea what's about to happen. We're just gonna have to wait and see, Austin. But first of all, shout out to Gen 1 and Nemesis. They're having a watch party in there. So shout out to them. And
Respect.
I'm just ready to get this prospect draft underway, Austin.
Well, all right. Why don't we get it underway? Let me get my good old copy pasta, and let's get it underway. So we've got a lot to talk about here in the Prospect League. Things have gotten spicy in the Prospect League with the new boundaries. It's putting Jaegers here into the Prospect League, and well, Bagels, this is going to be crazy in the Prospect League. Prospect League is going up to 1,500 this season.
That's wild to think about.
That is kind of wild.
Pretty crazy. I don't think 1,500 is what it used to be, but we'll have to see. Definitely, if you can at least make it up there to 1,500, at least for Prospect, that's still the third lowest league. Should be seeing again. I always say it in playoffs that the competition gets better and better. So hopefully, Prospect can really have a coming out party this season.
And we'll have to see. There are a lot of great players, and things have gotten crazy at the top there. There were a lot of trade maneuvering going around. I know I originally had the second pick from getting lucky in the draft lottery, but we traded back down there to 9. So now it's Minotaur's Velocity Wyverns on the top here. And oh boy, it's gonna be interesting. I also cannot move the GM. I cannot move channels around in the Discord anymore. The Discord's getting too hyped. There's too many people using it. It is broken. But I can still see the channels at least, so there's that. But anyways, Psycho, I don't know how this happened, but we have the defending champions picking number 1 here in the Prospect League.
Yeah, I
Go
would like
crazy.
to know how that happened too. I need Rogue to just go ahead and come on stream real quick and explain this to me. Because I think there's cheating. I think there's collusion.
Yeah, I think so. Well, there might have been collusion, not for the number 1 pick, but the man in the far right over there. I'm sure, sure we'll get to that there. As the first pick is on the board here, it's gonna be Critter to the Minotaurs, the defending champions. They're gonna get Critter, and what is that? Rogue and Critter now on that team.
That's insane.
That's dirty.
That could be.
What if they pick up Speed?
Could they pick up
Speed?
Speed?
It's gonna be Speed, Critter, and Rogue.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be interesting.
Oh, that would be something right there. Some three GM / former GMs all on a team. That would be crazy. That would
I'm
be
sorry
something.
if I just ruined it. I just thought it'd be interesting.
Rogue's like, no. You know, Rogue would be yelling right now if that was the case. He'd be like, "Shut up, Bagel!" Can imagine it. Can imagine him yelling at the moment, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see, I guess, as Critter's the first one off the board. So, congrats to Critter, number 1 overall pick at 1,500. He's at the very top, the very, very top there, and he's off the board. And Velocity, who moved up to get this pick here, they are going to go ahead and select Turbo Pulsa.
No.
The prospect Turbo Pulsa, otherwise known as Turbo, which we're going to call him Turbo because you can't be Turbo Pulsa. But hey, maybe he's the prospect Turbo Pulsa. So, Jaegers, you scared of a guy named Prospect Turbo Pulsa here?
I mean, Turbo Pulse is a crack player, and we kind of skipped over Critter. Critter's a great player, but he's also a better person. That's a great personality to be around in terms of team. Turbo, I don't know too much about him, other than he's crack. I played with him in tryouts. But this next pick is interesting.
You think so?
It might be. It might be the worst pick in the draft.
Well, there he goes. The man himself, Jaegers, is going to the Wyverns right now. What are the Wyverns up to? They have Jeff Masters on there. So Jaegers and Jeff Masters. Ooh, some caster chemistry.
That's solid right there. Jeff Masters is amazing. Not only as a caster, but as a player too, coming up just short in the grand finals last season. But who knows, maybe our boy Jaegers will be the one to take him to the promised land.
Fingers crossed. I do know Biscuit really wanted this pick. Got a few DMs before the draft. We're not gonna go over it. But for the longest time, I thought I was going to number 2, but a last minute switch up happened.
I don't know about a switch up.
No, about a switch up. Well, we're gonna have to do some investigating after this. I presume. Psycho, we're gonna have to get on this thing.
No, just you.
Oh, just me. All right.
I'm out. I got sniped. My picks are getting sniped.
Oh no. Well, I think Psycho. You know what I think this really means? I think this just means that you're well versed, you're well planned.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
You knew the good people. You knew the good people, and then they got taken.
I mean, I would hope so. I've been here going on 8 seasons now. If I don't know the good people, I'm doing something wrong.
It's probably true. That's probably true. As we do have a couple picks coming in though, and maybe they were from Stolen from Psycho, but we got Shorts RL, who I believe was on the Hellcats last season. Yeah, Hellcats last season in Challenger League, dropping down to Prospect this season, and the Vipers are going to go ahead and select Oinko with their pick, which puts the Banshees on the clock. So Oinko to the Vipers. Psycho, you're a former org there, and then we see Shorts RL, who Challenger player dropping down. Those are some hot commodities for sure.
Yeah, and I love to see Oinko go into the Vipers. I mean, it's Oinko's a great guy. He's a great part of the community. He's always active. He's always making people laugh. We love to see him go to a great team like the Vipers. Vipers are the best team in Prospect.
Well, you think they're gonna be better than the team that you're involved with right now, the Gladiators?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Vipers are the best. Don't get me wrong. I got love for the Gladiators too, but you know me. You're playing me here, Austin.
That sounds a little bit conflicted. Yeah, I'm sorry, I put you in a tough spot here, but we gotta figure out where the allegiances lie. You know, that's the most important thing.
Hey, my allegiance stays strong.
Okay, to both.
So yeah, shut up.
Equally to
Leave me
both.
alone. Go to Bagels or somebody now.
Well, Bengals, we do got the Banshees on the clock. You're former Oregon on the clock. Looking at the Banshees, looking to make some magic happen. What are they working with? They have got 3 people on the roster: Pirate Rage, Flux Capacitor, and Blessed. And now they're looking 1487 to round things out.
Yeah, I was a little confused for a moment because both the names were green, and I thought the Banshees already picked already, so I was very confused. But yeah, I mean, 1487 is a high value there, and I'm not really seeing anybody that I would really pick up kind of in their range, but maybe they know somebody along the lower end of the spectrum, like somebody like Alpha, or I don't know, a lot of these are some new names coming out from Prospect, but I mean, definitely Alpha would be a lower MMR value that I would probably maybe go with, unless they want to go with Hydro or Dreams or any of those other high 1400s. That being said, there is a man or woman named Bagel.gif. So
It caught your eye. That's the first time saying we had a bagel and a mealy.
dude, I mean, there's Dr. Waffles, Bagel, OD Melt. I mean, there's Curious. There's so many food names. It's just too hard to pick.
Well, the pick is in. They have not gone with the food, but maybe an eater of food, perhaps in your trash can. We got a raccoon on the board there. Hey, that was a smooth transition. You got a raccoon.
I can't tell if you're calling him trash or the team trash. Or...
I was trying to make a connection to the food here.
No, I know.
Maybe he's good. You know, I don't know. I haven't seen much from Raccoon, but they're off the board to the Banshees to round out their rosters. So
Raccoon actually is pretty good. I'm surprised he's going to the Banshees. I was seeing not Diffusion's the Novice. Faded was really looking heavy into Raccoon, and Raccoon showed up to the Gladiators tryouts as well and did really well.
Well, there you go. I knew I recognized the name, so there we go. He's on the board.
Draft from them, 1 pick, and they're done.
They're done. They've had enough. Well, they traded away their extra picks, it looked like, or at least they were moved. So that's going to put Origin on the clock. And I have a decision to make here, for sure. The roster is empty. No thanks to some people. But, sorry. Jaegers would have been on Origin. So would have Marco have been, but they went. There was actually only 3 people that returned in Evolution. So that's just how it goes sometimes. But I think I know who I'm selecting. This has got to be a no-brainer with no one on the roster. Of course we got to go for Puggles there. Puggles is coming to Origin. When you get top MMR there, you got a great guy in Puggles and a great player from last season. Whew. I gotta get Puggles. Give me some Puggles right here. These drafts, all I'm saying is these drafts have come to me right so far tonight. I'm having fun. I'm having fun right now with the way things have lined up. Puggles, he's coming to Origin, looking to make another run at a championship there for the Origin boys.
That's a Hypernova's pick.
That's a fat W. Puggles a fat W.
Uh-oh. Oh, I trolled Hypernova. Wait,
what?
Uh-oh.
Wow, Rockerman's really rigging it right in front of us.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Uh-oh. DJD.
Did you go out of order?
I did go out of order. Well, Puggles is getting sniped now. Guaranteed. I apologize.
Yeah, DJD doesn't take Puggles. He's out of his mind.
Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, they're selecting Rilo.
Oh man, you got lucky.
I got lucky.
You got lucky.
I did get lucky. Did they even have room to pick up Puggles? Now we gotta know. I apologize, DJD. This is what you get for being a new GM and existing. No, I'm just kidding. I love DJD.
That was a fumble right there.
That was a fumble. This happens once a season, though. This is what happens when you host a draft and take these out. Well, we'll try again. We'll still get Puggles regardless. But I apologize, DJD.
Oh my god.
Wow.
We'll get Puggles anyways.
This.
Making this take even longer.
Holy crap.
Well, it was actually my pick this time, so I'm just getting too
So
excited.
we didn't even talk about the pick that happened way back when, was when Ember picked up Shorts, and he's joining Gallium, or aka Charles. I really wish he kept the Charles name. I like the Charles name. Not a
Charles
fan
name
of
is
the
great.
Gallium. Not the fan of Gallium so far.
He had good reason. He didn't want it to be he didn't want his Indian name to be his real name, so he wanted to switch it up a little bit.
It's just
Whether Gallium whether Gallium is good or not, you can debate that. But that was his reasoning. So
don't bring logic into this.
I'm sorry, I had to back him up here. I did give him something. He's goated caster, so
that's a dynamic duo so far with Shorts and Gallium so far on Ember.
True. And then Rilo is coming off the board now as well, the Hypernova, who unfortunately I skipped for a second, but they got Rilo, and he does have broken PC in his name. So that's a bold pick. Or maybe it's a strategy to fall the Hypernova.
True.
I don't know. You never know.
Though I gotta say, I think that Rilo was trying to fall to somebody else. I don't think Rilo was trying to get picked up by Hypernova. From what I know, he was trying to go to Victory Org, but Hypernova got in there and sniped that pick.
Hey, you gotta, when it's a draft-based league, you see a good pick there, you gotta select them. So
gotta get them. And Rilo is a season 6 novice champion. So
he was. What is that? What season 6 novice? Is that Spitfires?
Spitfires, yeah. When the season where Jorbage popped off on Frost.
Respect. So, well, there you go. There you have it, and I don't know. I'm confused. By his cryptic DMs. No pun intended, but we'll figure that out regardless. And next couple picks are in. So we got Puggles going to Origin for real this time, and then we have the Blackhawks going and selecting some sloths out here. We got Air Sweeney and Frosty. I think both were former Bandits, and both of them now on the Blackhawks, with Smeg, who has taken over as the new GM for that Atrium org. So looking to make some moves with Sweeney and Frosty, the only two on the roster at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with either of those players. Jaegers, you got any insider knowledge on these boys?
On Frosty and Air Sweeney. Air Sweeney, the name sounds really familiar. I know Frosty, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he went to Grand Finals season 5. I want to say with Ember, and then lost to Hypernova in 6. Air Sweeney, I believe, was on the Bandits. No,
Yeah,
was it Bandits or was it the Vandals?
I'm pretty sure these both were on the Bandits.
They were on the. I know Frosty was on the Bandits last season.
Sands will tell us, I'm sure. Sands will be like, "You guys are dumb. It was this," and then we'll be like, "Oh, thanks, Sands." But regardless.
Anyways, they're probably two solid choices for the Blackhawks right there. Now, the Bandits, we've spoken into existence, have picked up Wolfie onto their roster, and they will join Sands and Fear the Beard. That seems like, if it's the Wolfie I'm thinking of,
it is the Challenger Wolfie from Motion.
There's also been like 5 different Wolfies at some point. So...
This is the OG Wolfie. This guy's been around for a long time. So.
Okay, well that's a decent roster right there.
Hey,
there's a lot of Challenger players falling down this season.
Yeah, with those raised boundaries, went up even more. I mean, from last season, was the bottom 14? Was it 1475 or was it 1435 last season?
1471, I want to say.
No. Regardless, it went up to 1500, the minimum per challenger, which is the top of prospect now. So, yeah, those challenger players, some of them dropped down. And Wolfie being one of them, that's a scary guy. I also considered him potentially for the number 1 pick, or for my number 1 pick, but he's going to go over to the Bandits. So Sands and the boys. And that Sands is on the Bandits now, huh? He's dropped down to prospect? Is that what I remember?
This is time to shine.
That could be it. Psycho, what do you think about Sands dropping down to prospect?
I don't want to say anything because I'm just going to come across as toxic, but
Okay, well, sorry, I kind of set you up poorly there, didn't I?
yeah. I
could say
think
he's going to run the league. We're going to run
I'm-
the league.
I'm not going to say he's going to run the league. I don't think he's going
Okay,
to run the league.
well, okay, well now that's toxic. Now that's toxic. I gave you an out. I gave you an out. Oh man. Well, okay. I guess that's what that's what
Yeah.
you really think. But I guess
No,
that's what you really
I
think.
don't. I don't think he's going to run the league. I think he's going to be a contender for sure. For sure. I think he's going to be a one of the top players, but run the league? No, I don't think
He's gonna
so.
get close, but trip on a rock halfway through.
I see.
That's basically what you're saying.
Oh.
Sure. Yeah. I think he's going to be good. I think coming down from Challenger, he better be good. Let's just say that. He better be good.
Expectations.
The pressure is on. The pressure is on. Jaegers, you feel that pressure dropping down from Challenger into Prospect? You feel a little pressure to be the best?
End of the day, it's just Rocket League. Hit ball into goal
Got him.
and do it more times than the other team.
And
Easy.
you win.
Jaegers
I was
gets it.
expecting more
That's-
of an
that's a
alpha Chad answer. I was expecting like I am the best. So yeah,
I mean,
why
that's
not?
That was a given. That was a given.
I just assumed that was understood. Bagels.
Okay, well,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
fair
You should
enough.
know.
We did win 3 games of twos last night in like 1600. So
We did. Yep.
They're different. They're different there.
So I
Respect.
will,
Well,
let me clarify.
Oh.
We played 3 games and we won 3 games. Not we won 3 games out of like 20 or something.
We're just different.
guys, the picks are flowing in here at the end of the round. We got 3 of them in a row here. You guys were ready to go, and we got some spicy ones. I especially like this last one.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah.
We got Jimmy G going to Flurry. We got B Tree. Jimmy Garoppolo's going to Flurry there. Congrats. He's upgraded from San Francisco to Flurry. So congrats. We've also got B Tree, who's been around for a while on Hypernova and that org for a while. And they're going over the Vipers. And we got Vokes now go into the Melons. I really like that pick. Vokes, a great guy. He dropped all the way down from Rival a couple of seasons ago. Now he's down in Prospect. And that's a scary man now on the Melons. And Cool Kyle, he's quietly putting up some good drafts out here for sure. Vokes and Adala on the Melons now.
Yeah, Vokes a long time OG as well, and Adala, I believe he was new to the league last season, and he kind of popped off for the Melons, almost kind of producing a good run there in the playoffs. So Vokes and Adala, both on the lower end of the MMR, so they have room to pick up at that border of the 1500 area. So if they pick up a solid high player, that could be a scary roster so far. But honestly, as I'm seeing all these rosters kind of get filled out, there's a lot of big name players. I mean, Minotaurs with Critter and Rogue, Melons, Vokes, Adala, Wyverns, Jaegers, and Jeff Masters, and Bandits. I mean, all the players that are coming up from Prospect or coming up from Novice, and then some of the players coming from Challenger. And then you also have Oinko, who's just on the Vipers. Like, Oinko is probably between Jaegers. I mean, there's just so many good players in Prospect now with these crazy boundaries.
They do be a little bit crazy. Now. And that's going to wrap up round number 1 is Zabungi, the last one off the board of round 1, going to the Minotaurs. So we got Rogue, Critter, and Zabungi. And well, let's make sure that roster is going to fit there. Waiting for the mods to update. But it should work out, I believe. I don't think they would have selected it if it didn't. But where was Zabungi on here? They may have just moved him over as I looked. Oh, he is 1383 on the board. So that should give what is that going to give him? It's going to give him 1358 to work with. So they got the room. They got the room to pick someone up at the very bottom. They got 2 people down there. But that's round number 1. Round number 1 on the board, and a lot of huge names on the board. I mean, look at that. That's a star-studded first round right there. I mean, look at all those names on the board. That's a pretty insane round 1.
That's what I'm saying.
Oof.
Insider knowledge. Rogue did tell me after I said maybe they draft speed. He did tell me that wasn't the plan. He said Zabungi going number 16.
Oh, there you
So
go.
I did my due diligence and I didn't say anything and I let it happen.
There you go. Respect.
Nice.
He didn't spoil it.
That's a good
I-
man right there.
Not gonna lie, I was looking at Zabungi as a potential teammate. I'm very upset that my
Former teammate of yours.
Season 4 former champion. Knew he was the
Mm.
first round after all.
Well, there you go. So,
Solid pickup right there.
all right.
Great,
Well-
great for team morale too.
We do love Zabugi. His speeches are
A1.
A1 speeches. He'll inspire anyone. He'll get you to run through a wall for sure. That is for sure. So, well, there we go. Now we're on round number 2, everyone, as the prospect draft marches on. And Ember, they are ready to go here with their pick. They're going to go ahead and select Luis Saka, who I think we saw him in the combines putting in some work there. And Psycho, maybe you know a little bit about Luis Saka from the combines?
Yeah. I actually was hosting the match that he was in. He was looking like a really solid player. I wouldn't say not necessarily a standout player, at least right now. I didn't see anything like crazy. He wasn't doing any sort of double flip resets or musty double touches or anything like that. But he did look like a very solid player, somebody that you could round a roster out with. Somebody who you can trust to be in the position he needs to be, getting the ball touches he needs to be. So I think it's a solid pick. I'm interested to see how Luis Saka fares in Nemesis this season.
Sure, and it's good to see the new names off the board as well. So show up to the combine, get your name out there a little bit, get selected. That's really all it takes sometimes. Show up and show out, get recognized, and you got on a roster there. So there goes Luis Saka, and congratulations.
The other Dolphins in chat, the Dolphin Puck.
Dolphin Puck won the recruitment raffle. I don't know if they saw it when it happened. $67 for Dolphin
Come
Puck.
get your money, Dolphin.
Come get your money. Also, yeah, Bubbly did troll me for a second. I knew I saw him make a selection. He said, "Whoops, didn't mean to delete." But him and the Rooks, they are going ahead and selecting Kyler here. Looking for Team Season 8. He's found a team in the Rooks there. Going over that one. He may have been a challenger free agent at the end of last season, if I recall. But regardless, he's going with
correct. Yeah,
he's going with Chiefs, Kenji, and now Kyler on the roster there for the Rooks.
All I'm gonna say is that Bagel.gif made it past the first round. I'm slightly disappointed.
You are?
You should draft
I
him.
don't know anything. I don't know
in
anything about him, but just off name alone,
Sounds like a little bit.
What?
Wait, what did you say?
Is it nepotism? Is that the right phrase for that?
Is it?
He's looking it up right now.
All right,
He's looking out.
Give us a definition. Give us a definition for the stream, so we
The
can
practice
keep everyone.
among those with power or influence of favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs.
Well, there you go. I think he's right. I think he's onto something here. Nepotism. There you go. Bagels. What say you about this nepotism that you're having
I
here?
mean, considering I don't know him, I guess I'd say no, but I don't know. Unless it's actually my Smurf account and I just want somebody to pick me up.
Well, if it fakes a lot, it might be.
Yeah. I don't know. That's probably where I deserve to be at. 1444 sounds pretty good to me.
You're Titan Beast 2K legend.
Well, there we go. Well, another come in from Velocity. Actually, 2 picks have come in while we've discussed Bagels nepotism. We've got 5/3 stupid going to Velocity. That's a great name, by the way. 5/3 stupid. I like that. And then Hydro going to the Wyverns there, which is now Jaeger's org, part of the Dragon Energy org. Hydro coming to the Wyverns there.
That big dragon energy, yes sir.
Dragon Energy.
I was in a few tryouts with Hydro. Dude, he's been around the league for a while. Really chill dude, and I mean he's a good player too. So that's gonna be cool.
Respect. Love to see Hydro, good caster as well in the booth there. Good to see him making his spot back on the roster for the season. So congrats to him. And putting the melons on the clock here to select Drips RL on the board. Don't know where Drips RL is, but they were somewhere and they have been selected. And now it is my time to. Ooh, $14.95. So that's way up there. And now it's my time Ponder's Origin on the clock.
And I'd just like to say, since we're talking about Drips, he played in the combines as well. Or no, I can't remember if he played in the combines, but he did show up to the Gladiators prospect tryouts, and the Gladiators captain was saying, "Wow, if we can get this guy, we need to get this guy because he is crazy." So I'm interested to see how he fares for Melons.
Vokes and Adala should be a pretty good combination right there. And they still have 1476 to work with, which is pretty crazy. So they could still get a high MMR player. Not quite sure who would be the sub on that roster, as we're still waiting for Rockerman to get a pick. Who he's got pick number 22.
Just looking at it,
he's got pick number 26 too. So he's going to round out his starters pretty quick here.
just does Marco Chugunki come back to Origin?
Maybe he should have never left. Maybe all white people should have never left.
He's going to pick bagel.gif.
I think he's gonna pick Chillin. Gonna bring
Don't.
Chillin.
Oh yeah, bring Chillin in.
That's a power move right there.
That's a power move.
He used to be a Challenger League player.
He
Was
did
though?
until he smurfed.
Was he? Was he?
Hey. He appealed. He didn't smurf anymore.
He didn't smurf after the appeal.
All right, I've got an idea. Wait, sorry. Pause that.
Oh,
1 second.
here we go.
I have a different
Holding up
idea.
the draft.
I have
Oh
a different
my
idea. I have a different idea. Hold on.
I think your time's up.
I've
You don't
got
get
3
extra
minutes.
time because
I
you're
got
the
3 minutes.
director.
Give me my 3 minutes, damn it.
Was AAA the same AAA from season 2?
Yes.
I'm assuming. Also, Jaegers, we lost you on the
Oh
on
no,
the OBS.
We did lose him.
that's okay.
Get him back.
How did that happen? Let's see.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Second, yeah.
Thanks for letting me know.
All right, I've got an idea. I'm going to go with this person because sloth and because
Tell me
dude's
you didn't come up with a plan?
No, I got a plan, but I was making sure the numbers worked for my plan. My numbers do work now because I had to do a little manipulating because of things. But I'm selecting Dr. Waffles for my
Talking
pick.
about nepotism. You got a manipulator over here. Okay.
What was that? I gotta make sure the numbers work. You just select this guy, and I can't have room for a fourth, and then everyone's like, "Why did Ruckerman do this?" And he can't even do numbers in his own draft, and then that's how it goes. So
I would have preferred it went that way.
yeah, you think so? Get some
Yeah, I think so.
Rockerman slander out here for sure.
100%.
Okay.
Oh, that's true. I'm back, by the
It
way.
wouldn't be Nemesis without it.
Do I get enough? Don't I get enough of the bagels? You think?
No. I mean,
No.
I haven't been in the Discord, so
No. Okay.
who's to say?
Well, fair enough. So I'm selecting Dr. Waffles. Great guy. Love Dr. Waffles. And met him at Worlds actually. So excited to bring him on to the Evolution to Origin paired with Puggles and someone else I've got in mind. Hopefully they come to me in a later draft. But Rook's on the clock here, and they're going to go ahead and select Speed Demon. So Speed's off the board there. He went to the draft this season, and he is going to the Rooks to play with who's on the Rooks? Kyler, Kenji, and Chiefs. So there we go. Speed Demon going that way, and that's a spicy pick. Good to see Speed getting out there in fresh in the draft. I guess it's a good feeling to get in the draft for the first time. Jaegers, you can probably attest to that. Getting in the draft, kind of getting out there, and finally. Well, I guess it might not be Speed's first time in the draft, but first time in a couple seasons. So
I mean, it's definitely an interesting feeling of being drafted and stuff. It's kind of cool just seeing like where you get picked and not knowing where you're going before the draft happened. Because before 10 minutes ago, I had no idea I was going to the Wyverns. So it's really cool.
yeah, and Speed Demon. I'm sure he's happy to make it to the Rooks there on this one. We'll see what he can do for those Rooks and the Vipers. They're coming with back-to-back picks, and these are some spicy ones that come out of the woodwork a little bit here. As we go back to back, they go with Dukes and Old Snipsy. on the board for the Vipers. And oh my goodness, Origin is back on the clock just like that.
And Duke's old Snipsy, two very mechanical players. It's going to be interesting to see how that team works out. Like if they're like connect chemistry wise, or because sometimes with mechanical players they don't always see eye to eye in terms of game sense. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out.
You have to give me a second as well, as now I'm confirming that this is what I want to do.
Austin's
I'm pretty
just
sure.
taking all the time.
The brain power. Manipulating. I'm manipulating real quick.
He's trying to change the MMR.
Editing the MMRs on the sheets.
I'm changing his MMR real quick. I say this guy's a little bit too high for my liking.
Oh no.
Some cheating going on.
Some cheating. All right. Well, I gotta go for this because this is what I planned for. There are a couple options I could have done, but I am going to go ahead. I'm selecting OK Tiny out here, formerly on Velocity last season, and I saw him play last season. I liked what they had to offer, and I'm liking my team. I've kind of brought together some people from kind of all around. We got Puggles, who was on the Vipers. Then we got Dr. Waffles, who was on the Bandits. Then we had OK Tiny, who's on Velocity. So getting some well-known names, trying to mesh them together. We'll see if that works out for the Origin boys, and leaves us with 1364 remaining. So I'm liking what we're working with.
It's a scary roster right there.
Ooh,
I
like that. Maybe back-to-back scary rosters here out of this. Hey,
Could have picked up Bagel.
you
You
could have.
Bagel.
I thought
His
about
name
it.
in Twitch is also Dr. Dre.
Is it?
I
Respect. Oh, Dr. Dre RL. Yeah.
Dude, that's two great names right there. We got Dr. Dre and Bagel. That's basically a slam dunk pick for me.
I did consider him briefly, but I this season I kind of wanted to go for some known commodities in my
consideration doesn't
my
get
drafts.
you much of anywhere. You either are or you're not.
Yeah, you think so?
That's
horseshoe and hand grenades. That close only counts in those two.
You don't.
That's true. It's ones and zeros here, so that's what we're going with, and we'll see. There are a lot of good names on the board. I see a lot of active names. I know GMs are again looking for those active players. So as the next pick is coming in, good thing I didn't select Marco. I considered it for a brief second, but since he went to the draft, figured I'd respect his wishes. He's going to the Warhawks here to make their pick, and he's gonna put Marco Gunky on their roster. Which what is that? What does that give him there? Oh, he's gonna put it with Mitso Gunky. So the boys are matching up over there on the Warhawks. Marco and Mitso, possibly good friends, I would assume, considering they both have Gunky in their name.
No, I really think that's what the plan was before the draft. I know there was a little talking back and forth, and I was aware that Marco wanted to team up with Mitso through the grapevine. So
yeah, through the grapevine. Or was it their names? Maybe
it may have been their names. It may have been people talking.
Is that the forefront of the vegetable war?
You've never heard
the grapevine boys.
You've never heard
pushing us back.
Oh my!
Man's disrespecting the grapevine.
God damn!
The grapevine's not
do
real.
the grapevine more clear next time.
It's that southern drawl.
Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine.
There you go. The grapevine got on mic now. I guess. Well, there you go. So we're just going to the Warhawks after all that. And Jaegers, we got some teammates for you. We got some teammates coming your way. Well, you already have some teammates. You got Hydro as a teammate. Jeff Masters. And now you got JK coming off the board there.
JK
the OG.
Hey yo.
That's a Melons OG, I believe.
Yes,
that's
it is.
Wild.
He was on there before they won the championship that season, left midway through, but I recognize him from the Melons, and obviously he's been around, but there he is. So Jaegers, Hydro, Jeff Masters, and JK.
That's interesting. Your roster right there.
Not bad.
We're gonna have to see how it goes. I think it's good. I'm excited for it.
It's championship winning roster there, Jaegers, you think?
I mean, I mean, no, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be like a deep playoff run. There's a lot of J's on the team, and we like our Jordans. So
Yeah, that's true.
absolutely,
I don't know what that was. Are you talking about the shoes or
the shoes, yes sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir,
I
the
didn't know
shoes.
if there was like a weird, some sort of reference going on there.
No,
Well, there was because he said there's a lot of J's. So
there's a lot of J's.
No, I know, but I didn't know if like Hydro's name was secretly Jordan or something.
It could be. It could
I think it will
We'll
be.
find
I
out.
think he's got one name change. Just change it to Jordan Hydro.
It's gonna be
it will be Jordan now. You want to keep your spot on this roster?
We
You
run a
gotta
tight
do what
ship.
must be done.
Of course. Well, there you go. So have fun with the name change. One name change per season, you've got it. Although maybe I don't condone that, but I guess we made it a meme now. So
Man, commentators are gonna have fun when we all change our name to Jordan.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. To be honest.
yeah. Well, there we go. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Jambles.
Another J. Yeah, we got Jambles. Jambles 8 off the board going to the Warhawks here. Not sure who that is. Looks like a new person, but they're going with Marco and Mitso 2 Gunky. Maybe we need Jambles 2 Gunky to round it out there. Just because, I guess. But 1401 off the board to the Warhawks. So
I'm just gonna say we got a lot of good food names still on the board here.
Mm.
Dude,
True.
Bagels.
I totally skipped over this. I missed this, but we had Vicious Oreo at 1460.
He faded OG. I was highly considering, but the MMR didn't work out for me after drafting Puggles.
Yeah, Vicious Oreo, that's a top tier pick right there, just off a name alone. And then Bagel, OD Melt, and then Curial Syrup, like, bro. I'm gonna be and Kenneman Toast. Oh my lord. There's just so many possibilities.
I think Ruth is right. In chat.
Yeah.
Bagels is hungry. He's got to be
Bagels
hungry.
I'm so hungry.
He's gonna be hangry soon.
I was trying to see how long the break was going to be to see if I could go get some food, but sadly, I've been talking about Chipotle for the past week. I think it might be Chipotle night.
Is it Chipotle night, Bagel?
I think so. It's gonna be.
Hey, Dr. Dre, Bagels. Dr. Dre said you could eat him.
Whoa!
In the chat, I'm just saying. He said it in the chat.
Okay,
Dude, that's cannibalism right there. I can't do that.
Is it nepotism or
Taken
cannibalism?
out of context, that could be that might be strange.
Yeah, that was something. That was something we just witnessed right there. Only in Prospect League, I guess.
All I'm gonna say is it depends on the type of bagel.
All right.
We'll see what he comes up with. We'll see what his response is.
We'll see. As the next pick is in, Faded is going to go ahead and select J. J-A-Y.
The J name's coming in strong.
Not Chimpanzee. That's actually 3. We got a JK, a Jambles, and a J. So 2 J's in the last 3 picks. As we're closing in on the last couple picks of the round.
If Chimpanzee made a return to the league, I think it just might implode.
Yeah. Get Chimpanzee back in here. Someone get him.
Self-destruction.
Someone find him. Get him in here now. Well, yeah, Blazer brings up a good point as well. Your name is Cooking Bagels, so I guess you'd be cooking them. So there you go. And he says everything bagel with cream cheese.
That's not my first choice, but that's a solid choice.
There you go. All right, well, it's confirmed. Spent enough time talking with this man. He's still sitting there at 1444.
Dude, somebody get this man.
There are a lot of people still on the board, actually, as we're heading into. I think Prospect may have some of the most overflow this season, which is kind of unfortunate. But we had such an influx right before the draft. I mean, it was insane influx from the draft. We had the 4 Matt Campers, and then we had just the.
Are you serious right now?
What?
I can't play.
Well, no, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking with the man in the far right.
Yeah, Psycho.
Psycho.
What? I'm not in the far right. Let me look at the. Am I in the far right?
No.
I'm like in the middle.
Okay, I was gonna say. I was like, I'm not playing.
Well,
Matt
put it.
I wasn't a format camper. I joined up and then I got put in prospect.
What?
I joined up before the boundaries came out.
He
So
was
I
born
No,
in
you
prospect.
you would have been challenger based on last season's boundaries. I'm pretty sure.
not
It's
this season.
semantics at this point because Peanut has been
Yeah,
selected.
that means the
Another
boundaries
food name.
changed. Okay, yeah, Peanut's selected. The J names have died, but the food names live on. As Blackhawk select Peanut. As there you go.
Yeah, Dr. Dre. I honestly don't know, but I'd say like an egg bagel, bagel or like jalapeno cheddar bagel. You got to get the crap. What is it? It's like lox. It's like smoked salmon cream cheese. It's like really good.
Cheddar bagel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
all
wow.
right, guys.
Jalapeno egg cheddar bagel.
Well, as much as I love bagels, we got to talk about the next pick, which is Alpha.
Oh, there we go.
Going to the melons.
Oh,
He's back. That's gonna round out their roster with Alpha, Drips, Vokes, and Adala. That could be a
powerhouse right
dangerous
there.
roster.
yeah.
Mhm.
Could be dangerous out there in the prospect league, and that's gonna wrap up round 2. So even still looking at this board, we got a lot of big names on here, and we got quite a few unknowns potentially, at least unknowns as in like rookies on the board as we kind of take a look at things, but. Nonetheless, I mean, some crazy things are going down as we're into the third round, and that's going to bring us down to, let's see, how many picks remaining is that?
What happened? Where are your picks at?
Mine?
Who?
You.
I picked 2 in the last round. I've got one more. I
Psycho.
got public.
Yeah,
Psycho.
my picks are in the third round.
Oh.
So
Well,
that's what I got.
You got one man on the team.
Hey, come on. It's supposed
Come
to be
on,
right
man.
now.
He's got a third, and a fourth.
Hey,
Okay,
but
Psycho,
you
all I'm
wanna-
gonna say is the last 3 picks better be all the food names.
It's not, but you know what is interesting? None of my picks have been picked so far.
All right. Oh, okay.
Well, we
the
had
dark horse candidates.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yes,
we
sir.
had. Maybe it's time for Psycho not to get sniped.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay, guy.
Now that you said that they haven't been said, now people are going to be looking for those. As here comes a pick coming in. So we have Bagel Guy GIF and we have Mealy.
He got picked.
He got picked. He's going to Ember. Mealy is
He's
off the
done
board.
it.
He's done it. There, being a merely lookalike, he's going to get selected. I joked before that Mealy and Bagel Guy GIF were Bagels and merely Smurfs in Prospect. It doesn't really. My bad. I said it out loud. That was my problem there. But Mealy's off the board there. I respect the profile picture. Got a dog. You can trust a man with a dog. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So there he goes off the board.
Prospect, me and Merely. I think I don't know what I'd do. I'd be severely disappointed in myself.
Yeah. I would be disappointed in you too if you were in Prospect and lost.
Yeah. It's possible at this point, though. Wait, so where's the bagel pick?
Bagel pick has not come in yet.
Maybe they
Oh,
just
I thought you said he got picked.
No, I said
you got
Mealy
me all
picked.
excited for no reason.
I thought you were hyping up Mealy.
No, I don't know anything about that, man.
Well, jeez. Put the 4-man down. I just hyped him up. I said he's in a cool picture.
I could
Unknown,
have
but
sworn you said 2 picks coming in, one of them bagel and one of them Merely or something.
no, I did not say that. Well, if I did, I misspoke, but I don't think I said that. Oh my goodness. Well, the next pick is in, and it's AAA 444 off the board. A throwback from season 1. This man played in season 1 on Tora, which no one's gonna know what the heck a Tora is. It was a Rocket League decal, but he's off the board there, heading over to Faded, and I think what was Tora now? Is that how can I say? Is that Flurry now, or was that? I don't even remember at this point. I think it was Flurry. Yeah, getting confirmation it was Flurry. So, who has the next pick in the draft? Look at that transition.
So
Boom.
when Inferno was the almost black market decal.
True. It'd be like that. Well, there you go. AAA 444. I think Bagels, Psycho, Jaegers. Anyone know AAA 444 besides me? Am I like the only one that
Yeah,
remembers?
I'm familiar.
He's like from EU, isn't he?
I don't think so.
No, he's not.
No.
Are you sure?
Yep. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
That's all I was gonna say. No comment.
That's all.
I've
No
heard
comment. No
things.
comment on that player.
I've heard
Okay.
things.
Understandable. Yeah. All right. Well, Flurry got you there. Flurry, they got. Oh boy, they have done something. They have done. They're bringing it back, Bengals. You know what we talked about before? What they did last season, or was it Frost? They're selected Sub-Zero RL to the Sub-Zero org.
Oh yeah.
You gotta respect that. Oh wait, did I just tag the wrong person? No, he just still has Wisps in his name from last season. But
It's
now he's heading to
the
Flurry.
Goth strategy of having gravity in his name for like 2 seasons later.
Think so?
Yeah.
Also, is this? Am I looking at the wrong place, or did someone take away my pick? Dun
I mean,
dun
you're
dun.
at 38.
Yeah. Oh, some reason it's written as the Bandits on our other sheet. So I was going to put the Bandits on the clock for a second. Well, we should probably confirm that. Am I pick? I think that is the Bandits pick because I'm pretty sure I traded that one away. But I don't remember if I have another third round pick. I'm pretty sure I did it somewhere. We'll check. We'll confirm. Hold the horses. But speaking of, what do you think of Flurry now? That their roster, I can't see what their roster is right now as I'm trying to sort this out. But what do we think of? What do we think of Flurry?
Jimmy Garoppolo is a pretty solid pick.
Yeah, not bad so far. I mean, I'm interested to see how Sub-Zero does. I have a feeling that, I hope Dan at least tried him out, but I know Dan, the first season he was GM, he went for like all of the cold style names and it ended up not working out for him. So hopefully at least played with Sub-Zero and knows that
Dan has a
Sub-Zero
plan.
can vibe with them.
What that plan is, we may never know.
Well, looking at the cap room that Flurry has and looking at the draftee board, I can make an assumption. But I do
Saying it's
think
Vicious Oreo.
Vicious Oreo. What does that even have to do with the cap room?
Well, because he's 1460. I'm just messing.
All right. The draft order was listed as correct. It is the Bandits pick. I got excited for a second that I was actually going to pick there and run up my roster, but I don't pick until later. So it's the Bandits on the clock and the Sands board. Mr. Sloth Man. What do you guys think of the board? The names still on the board here. I know you guys were just talking a little bit about them. We got a lot of names still up there. I see quite a few names we recognize, like Freak Mighty out there. We talk about Vicious Oreo, OD Melt's on there, Cream, Nixoy. Those are the names that I recognize for sure. Obviously, there's some other ones that I do as well, but there's also a bunch of names there that we don't really know that are still out there. Maybe a couple of guys you can shout out while we're waiting on the Bandits pick.
I see Cinnamon Toast went to school at
guy.
my college.
What?
Yeah, Cinnamon
real?
Toast. Yeah,
Cool.
no, yeah. Let's see who else. See chilling there. Freak Mighty, we just talked about him. I think Dan's going to pick him.
And honestly, like I'll just to hop in here real quick, I'm kind of surprised Freak Mighty's still on the board because he showed up to the combines and he did really well in the combines.
Sounds like Psycho's trying to get Freak Mighty picked so he can get one of his other picks.
What are you talking about?
Well, even more
Classic
news.
misdirection. I've seen it before.
You're not even drafted, Bagels. Give me something here.
He's caught up, called about his plans. Also update: Bandits do not have the pick. They do not have room to select a 1351.
Oh, no.
There's no 1351s on the board.
Oh my gosh!
For the Bandits, so they
Yikes.
cannot select. Unfortunate. But
Let's just move down to my picks.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Hey, wait. Why did this man trade for my pick and then not use it? What is wrong with him?
Yikes.
Give my pick back, Sands. I want it back now. Although he did help me get Rooney, so respect. All that just for that. Well, Hypernova, they're going to get on the board here. They're selecting the Goats GM. Cream is going off the board to Hypernova for this upcoming season, which gives them Ares, Rilo, Ultimus, and Cream on the board there. And they had 15, 14 to work with, going with Cream, not sniping Psycho's pick there, which I'm sure he is.
Nope.
Hopefully, yeah.
Didn't snipe my pick. Didn't snipe my pick. I will say, Cream did hit me up, and he was like, "Yo, I'm interested in the Gladiators. I'm interested in War Room and stuff like that." And he came to our tryout, and he did phenomenally. He did really well in the tryout. So I'm glad he found a team.
Well, there you go. Congrats to Cream. Always good to see Cream. Great help on the streaming side so far this season. Looking forward to having them stream some Nemesis matches for us this upcoming season. Congratulations on getting on a team, and that's going to put Velocity on the board here, and they're going to go ahead and select Nixler, who we figured would probably fall off the board at some point here, and there he goes to Velocity.
There he goes.
The season 6 champions there, or season 6, yeah, season 6. Said that right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would have loved it for it to be my Origin boys. That was such a fun team. Unfortunately, Velocity took them down, but in Game 7 as well. Intense series.
It was a great series.
It was. Let's see. As the Gladiators on the board, and Psycho, he's got his pick in here. Psycho,
Yes,
want to announce it to everyone who you got?
Yes, sir. I'm picking my boy Shag. I brought him into the Ninjas. He went up to the Prospect League and unfortunately got dropped from the Gladiators last season. But I'm bringing him back to the Gladiators this season because he is the host with the most. He's gonna get it done for us.
Hey, all right. So what do you got on your roster right now, then, Psycho?
I just got right now. We got Shaggy and we got MB Outcast, which MB Outcast is a
MVP.
long time, huh?
MVP from
MV,
yeah.
And he's the guy that had the 1.53 goals per game average. So he's a heavy hitter, and he's going to be the captain of the Gladiators. Him and Shaggy have previous experience together on the Ninjas with me, so I think they're going to be strong. Even though if you look at them on the sheets, they're going to look really weak, but I think they're going to be really strong.
All right, well, respect there is he's picking him up, and you'll have another pick very shortly here, your third round pick. We're waiting on the Blackhawks, who are now on the clock, looking to make their next selection. The rosters are really getting rounded out now as we're headed into it. We only got a couple more picks actually left in this one. You got 3 more in this round, and then we got 5 in the last round. So down to the final 8 picks here on this one, and there is still some people on the board there that are interesting. Freak Mighty's at the top, Seawall, Actual Salty, Dreams, Vicious Oreo, Eclipse. You got Chillin', Bagel.gif is still on the board there, Stumpy, Zia, Odie Melt, Monkey Ball, Ship, Kodo, Sunny, Kryptonic. What is this name? Dubu Dayan? Oh goodness, I'm gonna butcher that one. We mentioned Curio Cereal, Ken I'm on Toast there. Kenneman Toast. Is that a type of toast? I don't think I've heard of Kenneman.
It's cinnamon, but his name's Ken.
Oh,
that's great.
Well, you think I would know considering I drafted him at one point. But
yeah,
my bad. I'm bad at GM, I guess.
I was hoping that Dan guy's name was Dan. I thought it was gonna be Dubu Dan, but it wasn't.
Damn.
Well, a name I was about to get to here in the final ones is actually go off the board. We got MP Run. It's not running. Running Big. MP Running Big 11 is going off the board to the Blackhawks thing. And then the last couple people are still on the list there. You got Sinshore, Joker, and Mr. Chair still on the board there as the Gladiators are on the clock. Yeah, Mr. Chair is on the board there.
So
it might be a capital I or an L.
It definitely just looks like
Mr. Char, but it's definitely supposed to be Chair, I would assume.
No, it's Challer.
So Psycho's now on the clock with the Gladiators.
Yeah, I got some stuff because I just got sniped right now. How did Smeg snipe me right there? Ooh. Why did he pick MP Running? Really?
Well, I think what does Psycho have here? He He's got 30-24 room. That's
He's got
enough
Yeah,
for
I got a
that's enough
lot
for
of room.
that's enough for two 1500s.
Got
So
room for
all right,
Mighty.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. We're taking him off the board.
All right. Well, hey, there you go. I respect that. You got to go for it when you got the room. Freak Mighty.
You got to do it.
It took him a little bit to go off the board, but the highest MMR still remaining. Going to go off the board, and he's been in Nemesis before. I recognize the name at least. So, Freak Mighty off the board of the Gladiators, and it's now up to the Minotaurs to round out.
Minotaurs don't have a pick.
Oh, do they not? No room?
No
Or
room.
no pick?
No room.
1358. They got no room, so they can't even pick here. So that's actually going to round out the round there, or this third round. So Minotaurs are no longer able to select. So there you go. There is the round. This was a little bit of a shorter round, as usually they do in rounds 3 and 4, but some well-known names. You got like Cream, Nixoy off the board, even AAA, who's been there since season 1 off the board. So, and a bunch of other people recognize as well. So round 3 in the books. And that's going to lead us to the final 5. The final 5 picks of the draft, starting with Flurry on the clock here. And it's now or never for some of these guys.
Chipotle.
You think so? He's ready for it. He's ready for it. Hey, it's almost over, bagels. It's almost over. Then you can go eat all the bagels you want, all the Chipotle, whatever it may be. But we got to figure out who's going where here. And Flurry, they've got some room. They got some room to work with. 1497 on the board for them.
Pick up Chillin, though.
You think so?
I don't think so, but I think it'd be really funny to have Dan and Chillin on the same team.
Yeah. Well, we got Dan, Jimmy G, and Sub-Zero RL. And Dan has typed in the wrong chat. But I think we know he's going to select. He'll fix that. I believe in Dan.
It's the Dan plan.
It's the Dan plan. Type in the wrong chat. To be fair, it is a thread inside the GM Transactions channel, so I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. But he is going to go ahead and go all the way up there and select Seawall on this one. So Dan selecting Seawall off the board there, and don't worry, Sans has got him. He said he's going to put him right on that one. So. But Flurry selecting Seawall off the board. So, well, Psycho, you got Freak Mighty right before. Maybe they were considering taking Freak Mighty, and you sniped his pick there.
I'll take it. I'll snipe anybody's picks. I love it.
He's got to get some revenge.
Yeah.
Psycho's on some revenge for foam here. Oh, the Banshees are full apparently.
Get them out of here.
Well, all right. They were not crossed off, but they are full, and that is great news because I was hoping. These drafts are lining up like a charm right now for me. It doesn't often go this way. But when you skip someone's pick and select Puggles anyways, sometimes things line up for you. But that's a joke. You guys are allowed to laugh. Maybe it wasn't a funny joke, but
that was a joke.
It was a joke.
I was just looking and see that you're gonna pick Chowler.
I'm gonna pick who?
Mr. Chair.
Dude, Chowler. I was looking at Mr. Chair. I wanted to draft him because I'm pretty sure I saw him in the combine. I'm pretty sure.
You're pretty sure? You're picking off of a pretty
He
sure.
doesn't even know.
I mean, he doesn't have a choice. That's the only MMR he can.
Well, actually, it is the only MMR remaining that I can fit on my roster. But I was actually looking at him a while ago when I was doing this whole calculation, and I saw Mr. Chair, and I recognized the name, which means he was active, which means he was somewhere, which means he's a good fourth selection for my roster. Mr. Chair is coming to Origin. The Puggles, Dr. Waffle, OK Tiny, and Mr. Chair, or Mr.
Can someone
Chowler.
with Mob Ferns change Mr. Chair's name to Mr. Chowler?
Well,
So
that's his Discord
it's
name.
with an L.
Is it an L or is it capital I?
It looks like an L.
I don't know. You're gonna have to do some investigating. I
There's
think.
also a font. Oh, you know what? It says Mr. Wait. I just can't tell. It looks like an L.
Well, the world may never know. Here, I'll copy
Mr.
it.
Marino became Mr. Mario. He is now. It's Mr. Chair.
Oh, it is an
Chowler.
L. It is confirmed a lowercase L.
That's
At
what
least
I'm saying.
on
It's Mr.
on
Chowler
there.
now. It's been spoken into existence.
Well, we're getting down to it here. We're down to the final 2 picks of the draft, and I know people are hoping they get picked. I see there's a couple people that are active that I think would make some good picks if people have some room on their rosters. As the Warhawks are going to come in and they are selecting. Who are they selecting? They're selecting Stumpy here with one of their picks, or I guess their final pick of the draft, which is going to round out their roster. And Bagel Dot Gif is still sitting there cooking bagels.
All I'm gonna say is Sans woke up today and he chose violence. Did you see what he put in the chat?
Which chat?
You know,
Which chat?
bagels. All I see are facts.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my!
Toxicity.
You wanted me to cast this with you.
Toxicity. Oh, I just accidentally typed Mr. Chair's name instead of my copy paste.
Mr. Challer, excuse you.
Mr. Challer.
Yeah, get it right.
My bad. As the Gladiators are now on the clock.
I got you. It's in.
Ooh. The pick is in, Psycho. Who are you taking for the final one?
Vicious Oreo. I had to go with the food name.
He's going with the food name.
He's done it. He's done the food name.
He's done it. And Oreos are just really, really good. I love Oreos.
Dude, if I'm casting a Gladiators game, I'm gonna lose my mind if he scores like a double tap or something.
Yeah. He loves the food. He loves the food. So, well, there it is, folks. That is the Prospect League Giraffe. So it is over for Season 8. And once again, I got to reiterate, I know there were some people that didn't get drafted and some active people. I mean, we talked about Bagel that gift the entire time. This Coda guy was active in the chat I saw. I'm sure there was some other people I missed. I think Zia was in here before. So these people are active if the GMs are looking for them. And players don't get disappointed. It happens sometimes. I mean, we have to have free agents overfill. If we don't have free agents, then teams can't pick up people, which will happen in the next couple of days. So stick around in the Discord. I know these other guys can attest. I know I'm the one that's saying this, but maybe Bagels can, or Jaegers can attest to, or even Psycho, whoever wants to attest. I know you guys can probably agree with me when I say that the rosters change a lot before opening day, and there's always people are always changing in and out, especially before especially even at the beginning of the season.
100% agree. I think in like Rival or Challenger alone last season, there was probably like 10 drops on the first day or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is pretty late in the night, so maybe not any drops going to come out right away.
Yeah,
but I'd definitely say over the next few days. If there's any inactive players out there, you guys know who to pick up. Dr. Dre, aka Bagel Doc.
he's gonna root for him.
Somebody get this man a roster spot.
Well, yeah. Like I said, and I know Blazin said in chat, and I'll repeat it, but trust me, guys, there are a lot of roster moves that get made. I'm sure some of these people that got drafted were active, maybe aren't going to be active once you find out people's schedules. So the main thing, stay active in the Twitch chat, stay active in the Discord. Make sure to follow the Twitch channel if you guys haven't already. Make sure you guys are back here tomorrow night for our next stream, which I'll talk a little bit more when we conclude it. But stay active in the Discord. Type in the hub chat, type in the league general chat, play in 6-mans, be around in the Discord. People will see who's active. They will see if you're active in the Discord and you got a better shot. You just got to prove yourself, and I'm sure there'll be some private tryouts or whatever. And just stay open to these rosters, look around and see, hey, maybe this roster is looking for a new player. They'll post something in org recruitment, or they'll just be looking, you'll see an open roster spot, hop on it, message a GM if you see a roster spot that's open and you can fit on it. And you'll have a good shot. Trust me. I know for me, picking active people is what I want, on my teams. I always look for active people. So if you stay active, you have a really good shot to get on a team for sure. So that's going to do it. We got 3 drafts under our belts here with Provisional all the way up to Prospect. We had, a lot going on here. Maybe let's get some final thoughts and then we'll wrap things up before we talk about Challenger tomorrow. Psycho, any final thoughts here after, we had first ever Provisional draft and then 2 more drafts that actually you got to participate in as the AGM there. So, what do you think of the night overall here?
Overall, I think it was a good night. I mean, personally, I had a great time. This was the first time I got to actually draft a team as opposed to just, putting my 2 cents in here and there. So I had a great time. I'm looking forward to my ninjas and my gladiators. I think it turned out pretty good, all things considered. And I'm looking forward to season 8. I think we're going to have, at least in the novice and the prospect league, I think we're going to have a pretty competitive season.
Yeah, it's looking like it with the new MMR boundaries. It's going to be crazy. Jaegers, what do you think of the night overall here? Is prospect has concluded, the rest of things have kind of wrapped up now.
Well, it was a long night, but it was a productive one, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be a really interesting season, Austin. And I can't wait for opening day.
Gonna win the chip in prospect.
Fingers crossed.
Respect, bagels. Any final words before we let you go get some Chipotle?
I think we missed out on a great opportunity to have Vicious Oreo and Bagel as a dynamic duo on a team. But no,
It could still happen.
There's just a lot of household names for the longtime Nemesis viewers in Prospect, from Challenger and Prospect Past and coming up from Novice. So there's a lot of crazy potential with a lot of these rosters. We'll have to see if any mid-season roster moves get made that kind of shake things up. But I mean, there's a lot of teams that I'm kind of looking at, and maybe for the first season in a while, I might actually have my eyes glued to the Prospect games when they're on Twitch.
All right, well, there you have it. So prospect could be wild up to 1,500. So again, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for the support tonight. At the very beginning, we were resubs and gifted subs like crazy. So thanks everyone for all of the gifted subs. Thank you everyone for the follow. Thanks for getting us over 1,800 followers on the channel. Again, make sure to follow if you haven't already. We'll be back tomorrow night. We got Challenger through Titan. So another spicy league. Challenger going all the way up to 1605 this season. So Challenger is going to be spicy. Rival League, there's a lot of crazy things going on in there. And then the Titan League, which I know I'm excited for. I've got some maneuvers. I'm maneuvering my way into 2 number 1 picks tomorrow in Challenger and then in Titan. So I'm excited. Hopefully everyone else is excited. But we'll be back tomorrow. It's earlier tomorrow night. We're going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern. So things will get done a little bit earlier tomorrow. 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys tune in. More information will be in the Discord. But congrats to everyone who got drafted. If you didn't get drafted, be active. That is the best advice there. And you'll get a good shot on a roster. So, but that's going to wrap it up for the night. We appreciate you all. Thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you guys later.
See ya.